I can't get these memories out of my mind, and some kind of madness has started to evolve. I tried so hard to let you go, but some kind of madness is swallowing me whole. Yeah, I have finally seen the light, and I have finally realized what you mean. And now I need to know, is this real love, or is it just madness keeping us afloat? And when I look back at all the crazy fights we had, it's like some kind of madness was taking control. Yeah, and now I have finally seen the light, and I have finally realized girls are filling up their glasses. No expression, no expression. Hide my head, I want to drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Mad world. Mad world. Children waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday, happy birthday. And to feel the way that every child should. Sit and listen, sit and listen. Went to school and I was very nervous. No one knew me, no one knew me. Hello teacher, tell me what's my lesson. Look right through me, look right through me. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, 'cause I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Mad world. Mad world.
Get up and tell you Welcome to Casual Cactus and our fill-in campaign, Delirium's Domain, with our special guest host, guest DM, Danny. She's been running us through a really cool sided... Am I? I'm not fuzzy. I shaved to take care of that. Anyway,
It's Steven this time.
But we are here having fun, letting Danny do her DM thing.
Nope. I'll let you know.
Made it worse.
I thought you were saying we weren't having fun. I was like, you take that back.
Right there.
So we're tweaking cameras and doing the intro in a really, really slapdash fashion, as is per normal. So everything's back to normal with us.
Yay!
We do have everybody back at the table. Kyrie Avery joined us last week. We were happy to have her back. We're happy to have her with the team for shenanigans. Just a couple of quick reminders for you before we dive back in. We do have our YouTube channel. Where you can find all the back episodes that we do, everything we do video wise finds its way to the YouTube channel.
At some point.
At some point, you can. I think I'm way behind at this point, so I keep saying that.
Love you.
Yeah, I'm bad.
There's been a pandemic.
There
Yeah,
has.
things have gotten weird, so.
We can blame it on the coronavirus.
We'll blame it on Rona and leave it at that. But most of the time,
Rona ate our recaps.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a graphic for that now. You know that, right? Anyway, most times you can find the things we do on the YouTube channel. Go check it out. Good place for you to get a feel for how we do as players is to check out the full campaign that we finished almost 10 weeks ago at this point.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's been 2.5 months. We finished up our slog through the Tomb of Annihilation. So check that out. We do also have our Discord. There we go. We do have our Discord server up and running. You guys can check that out. It's a good place to keep in touch with notes and news and just keep in touch with us as we let you guys know what's going on. There's a little in-character section there we call the Hags Master. It takes the form of an in-character tavern. Kind of a neat concept. Any character you've got from any system you like to play, doesn't matter. Bring them in and they can interact in character. It's sort of a cool little way to keep in touch. You'll also find news for Kyrie's creative streaming and Danny's creative streaming as well. Bless you. When they go live and do stuff as well. So with that, I think we will turn it over to Danny.
Hello! Let's see. Let me check on. We need a little bit more Lance in this frame. Lance is a little. we have some space. Like Braden has some space on his shoulder. We can. There we go. That's better. That's better.
No, more me.
But we have all of you.
All right. So, before we get into things, I have an unenveloping to do, because we received fan mail. So we will find out what this is together. I won't hold the envelope up because, addresses.
We don't want to dox anyone.
Yeah, I'm not gonna dox anybody today. Love you, Chipper. Oh, is this like handmade? Did you make this? This is really cool. Also, the envelope is really nifty. I'm assuming that might not be handmade, but this looks it. Did you? You did not make it? Sorry, Caps. I did not make it! Okay. Hey, ladies and gents. Thought you might... I just actually saw what was in this. This is amazing. Thought you may like some of these testers. Totally exclusive. I hope everyone is safe, healthy, and staying sane. That might be a little too far. With love, Chipper. Take some. Pass them down. We have...
Oh no!
Stickers, and they're amazing. Chipper, I love you so much. my new favorite thing, and I
I was wondering what the brown things were.
I'm highly tempted to put this on my computer. That way
I
everyone
can't
who
put
sees
this
my
on anything.
laptop
I
can-
can't explain this.
Some things were not meant to be
Best thing
explained.
about it.
Hashtag D&D out of context.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I'm gonna put this on my water bottle.
Makes me so happy. I am
Yeah.
going to have a place of honor.
I will find some.
I'll
I'll put the bottom of my water bottle.
Thank you, Chipper.
You
That
know the
is
amazing thing?
amazing.
I just now noticed like the little stitch marks on his ear.
Yep.
For the amounts we killed him.
All the times we've killed him. Oh, this is like my favorite
Those
thing.
guys have seen some things.
I've seen some things, man. I wouldn't recommend it.
I love this so thank you so much, Chipper. That's amazing.
You're awesome, Chipper.
And Steven is just very uncomfortable right now, which makes it that much better.
And so, for all of you who want to find more of Chipper's chippery goodness, we do have a link in the chat there, so you
Oh my
can
gosh,
go to
I
her
love this so much.
her red something,
Bubble.
her Redbubble
Redbubble.
store and check out some of the other stuff that she's done.
Redbubble has a Glassbreakers Guild section.
Yep.
That
Yes, it
makes
does.
me so happy.
Yes, it does.
That's
But
so
we need more.
epically cool.
And my dad laughed when I told him we had fans.
They are few, but they are awesome.
Thank you, Chipper. Thank you.
He's just jealous because he doesn't have any.
Yes, clearly.
It's like,
He does have a YouTube presence, however.
does he?
Actually, yes.
Huh.
I can show you a video of my blind dad doing nunchucks.
Is that like?
Yeah, that
Is that what his YouTube is all about? Is
No, it's
blind man
like
doing
that
nunchucks?
No, he did a blog a long time ago about.
Tell your dad I want a rematch. Sorry. Not at speed. I'm just yelling. Sorry, carry on.
It was from like a long time ago. He did a sort of blog series on being blind and the challenges and funny things that happened with that. I tell you what it was called. I don't remember because that was like 10 years ago. But I don't even remember how we got here.
Kind of want to find him now. I'm gonna have to stalk him via YouTube.
I
Blind
mean, I
man
can find it.
nunchucks.
Actually, probably.
Fabulous. Well, so now that we've had that moment of hilarity brought to you by our very favorite Chipper, I suppose we should figure out. We love you too. You're freaking awesome. Can't wait to see you again at some point in the hopefully near future. We'll see how travel happens. But would someone like to enlighten the world as to what our last situation was?
Sure, I can do it.
Go for it.
Only because I was last. Last time we finished a long rest in the tavern, and then we went off to talk to the White Queen. On our way to meet the White Queen, we were stopped at the gate and told that no one was in, and we met, I can't remember the Shield Guardian's name, but her second in command,
To whom we had to
To
deliver
whom-
a chalice.
and
Did that happen last time?
Yes.
and Claudius had
It
to
was a busy
honor
session.
fight honor fight the Shield Guardian, and did well.
No, okay, Claudius didn't have to do that.
Who else was going to do it?
We didn't have to.
This is Wonderland. You have to do what everyone says.
And now I have a new thing to exploit.
Claudius won the match, and ish. We also saw a strange man had snuck into the castle and was guarded as we went and met with the White Queen, who was in the form of a dragon, horse, unicorn. I can't remember what the thing's name is.
Chiron.
That thing.
That thing.
We talked to her. She gave us the second key and a little bit of information. After we got done with that, the Shield Guardian gave us the chalice to help us, and told us that we would find an ally in Carrier's character. So we quickly acquainted ourselves with Kyrie's character, and then began the long trek towards our next destination. However, before we could leave the White Queen's domain, a shadow dragon appeared at the entrance, and we found out that Claudius had made a deal with the
Deal is a strong word.
deal with the villain of the campaign,
We should never have made this bargain.
and was gifted a sword and was called Saint Claudius,
Protector of children.
protector of children. We bound the shadow dragon and sent it away.
But
And
not
we
before.
were also shown a golden road that appeared to lead us northward unharmed. There was much talk with the party. We helped Melbane escape from his shackles
At the cost of his
at
hand.
the cost of his hands.
But now he has a hook.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So it's fine.
Emmy decided to go ahead because she was a bit perturbed and started following the golden road and met the two Tweedles at the top, Dee and Dum, who were being accosted by displacer beasts. One of them got their toes stuck in the golden road. Emmy chopped his toes off
Yes, she did.
and then proceeded to make friends with some of the displacer beasts. We made it to the top, had a conversation with the Tweedles, talked with them, and now they're accompanying us northward because there's nothing south, west, or east. And,
Because they can only go one direction. Because only
One option. Only one option exists.
we built Melbane a hook and an arm.
You're still working on the arm.
Right. And I think that was it, besides Elaine getting flirted with.
And flirting with back.
Oh
yes.
yeah, you read the whole thing.
I totally.
And I believe that's where we left off, so.
Excellent. That also reminds me, for you guys, it's not up yet, but I should have it up by the end of the week. For realsies though, because I think it's actually going to. You want to change over the
Oh, yeah, sorry.
cameras. There are some asides that are happening that I am going to turn into kind of. They're not great standalone short stories, but they will be in short story format for better consumption. Some of the asides that are happening off screen, just because it would be a little bit too much time dominated by a single character, and that's not fair to everybody else at the table. So some of those asides will be featured on the Discord. We will have it clearly labeled once those actually get finished, and you will be able to see some of the stuff that's happening behind the scenes with the characters that you know from here. So any other asides that may or may not be happening, you will not have access to. But the asides with these guys, you shall. So with that, when we last left you off, we had kind of sped through that 2 days of travel, and you were quickly approaching Cannibal Cove. So you are not there yet, but you are about an hour off from it, and you are beginning to cross a small tributary via a bridge. And as you cross this bridge, you are entering a different territory. So
the next time I sleep.
so it happens at, okay, couldn't remember if it was just like a spontaneous thing or not. Okay, cool. As you begin into Cannibal Cove, the area changes quite a lot. You had become used to the dense forests of the Dryads and the Treants, the Triads, and it looked very much more like what you would imagine in your mind to be like kind of Celtic Fey forest looking area. As you're moving upward, you're getting into a much denser, greener foliage that looks much more jungle. All of the leaves are bigger. It's beginning to get more humid. It's beginning to get hotter. in a very small period of time. At this point, this is probably not overly surprising because this is a strange place and things change quickly. Roll me a perception check.
9.
Nine.
Natural 20.
Oh,
11.
that makes sense for you.
11 also.
11. Okay.
23.
23.
21.
Okay. Wow, this is a half and half split. So, those of you who are 11 and below, you hear lightning, but in your brain, rainforest. Lightning kind of makes sense. That's alright. For those of you who
This is
got
fine.
redonkulous
is
high
fine.
numbers, you hear lightning and you look up and watch it streak across the sky. And the streak it makes stays.
That can only be good.
What was that, dear?
Look up.
It is an odd streak that does have a very lightning-like appearance, but it looks as though a shell has developed a crack. And you can kind of see on the very outer edges of it, there is a soft white glow that looks like light is trying to penetrate in, but the actual midsection of this crack is kind of a dark swirling purple, blue, black.
Awesome.
That can't be good.
Nope.
Oh, certainly not, says Melby.
I figured it wasn't with the Tweedles, so.
Oh, it's pretty colours. I can't get him quite deep enough today. I need to drop it a few octaves. It's not a few octaves, but that's what I got, so yes. That's pretty and swirly it is. I like it.
That can't be good.
Continuing to move forward, you begin to have a slightly more civilized path. It's a little bit more evened out for you. And as you get closer, there are pikes that are stuck to either side of the trail. They look as though they should bear actual heads, but instead what you see are skulls that are very elaborately decorated with flowers and different paints and different things to that effect. Very like Dia de los Muertos kind of thing, but real skull and real
just
flowers.
in time for the Day of the Dead celebration. Yay!
So there are skulls around you in this very, very decorated pattern. You can start to hear whispers in the area around you in the leaves. I'm not going to make you even roll for that. And it doesn't sound like the same kinds of whispers that were coming from the woods before, where it was the trees talking. Like, you hear rustling. There are creatures in the woods. They don't seem to be coming out. You could check and see if you could find them if you wanted to. But it is becoming very, very clear that you are getting closer to civilization.
Civilization.
Question mark? I don't know what you're gonna
Is
find
this-
there.
Is the gold road still going just straight on through
The gold road stopped at that.
at the tributary?
Yeah. Should have said that, thank you. As you are approaching, you can see kind of in the distance, it's a little ways off still, but not very far, you'll be there in a few minutes. There is a large fortification that looks like it is built from trees, and the tops of the trees have been pointed. It's very tall, probably about 30 feet tall, with a couple of watchtowers on either side of the gates. Just continuing forward.
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody being even remotely stealthy or quiet or anything?
No.
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 Fair enough. Well, I mean, you
I
have
don't know.
Tweedles
I was
with you,
gonna
so.
say.
Yeah, pretty much they have tuba music going in the background the whole time that they're walking, so that's fair. Ho! I haven't been here yet, I haven't done. I'm excited. There are new people to meet. Maybe. Are we supposed to eat them instead? Is that how this works?
No.
No. No. We won't eat the people.
Very good.
Alright.
I mean, you could,
He's called Cannibal Cove. Although
right?
I wouldn't eat a Tweedle.
When one is in Cannibal Cove, one would think.
Oh no.
Except you're different species.
Hey,
And we're not going to eat them. So you definitely shouldn't eat them.
that's fair.
Encourage them.
Encourage what? Exactly.
They will eat people.
And? I'm Xerxes. We already went through this, did we not?
Do you eat people?
Of course not. Why would I eat people?
Why wouldn't
Because
you?
you're people, and you're...
Am I people?
Where are you in this
I
conversation?
don't know. Are you people?
Do you think I'm
For
people?
the purposes of eating. She's people. He's people.
And I don't eat people,
There you go.
because I'm a Tweedle,
And not a Neanderthal.
and not a Neanderthal.
Good job.
I
Just
still
cut to
don't
him
understand
shoving
why
a
they
horse
don't
in his
just
mouth.
stand up.
I mean,
Dumb just kind of. Don't say that. Hey. And they kind of lumber forward. Hello! You hear.
Hail, travelers.
Pretty much. You hear two very startled men in the watchtowers. Halt! 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 Oh dear. Oh dear. Who goes there?
Us.
Thank you.
Oh, he said!
Yes, it is us.
Melbane face
It
palms,
is
but
us.
then realizes that he
We are-
has a hook and smacks himself with his hook.
Why is he?
Be careful with that.
So
It is us.
Can I
We are we.
see where the voices are coming from?
They are two very decorated people in the watchtowers, both with crossbows that have them trained to you guys.
we're friendly. Not that you could.
Gauge that.
Okay, real quick aside. This is Nat. What are we doing here? Because I don't remember.
We are headed to
Can
Cannibal
you
Cove.
can you
to
pull up
cross
the
cove
the
to where
world
the
map?
Black Castle is.
World map. Let's see if I can pull
Okay.
up the world map.
So we just are passing through.
Correct.
Can I pull up
Although
the
we
world
do have a number
You
of
should still
errands
have
here.
it.
Yeah, we've got what's his
map? I'm
bucket?
trying to find in my tools.
Joel Skillworm.
Where are my tools?
So it should be.
That was the
Yes.
that's the
The nephew of the.
Oh wait, wrong thing.
bookkeeper from
Yeah.
the Red Castle.
Too far. What'd I do? Keith, fix me. Save me. Sorry, hit the wrong thing. Don't know where I'm going.
It's a Monday!
Monday.
Oh yeah, that. Hush.
Hear him giggling
It's
under
mine.
his breath.
It's in jail
Saving
right now.
the technologically
You don't
impaired
touch it.
wife.
Please don't.
There we
touch
go.
it.
He's got-
Okay.
I'm not
now
sure.
that I see
Maybe
where
it'll just
we
suck
are,
that all off onto you. You'll siphon it off.
Where's my
Yeah.
I don't want that either.
I don't have to see that one yet.
Either way, bad
Then
thing.
Stop coercing with the
Alright,
wheaten dice.
And then
So
you need
we
to zoom
are-
us in.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
And we
it's
are.
It might be easier to
You
find from this
are
side.
in Cannibal Cove.
I rolled 2 1s with it. In a row.
Fair.
Travis had a character die this week from that.
Yeah, so
Can
it
you
needs.
see
It's just a timeout right now.
what
It's
you're
fine.
doing?
It's really
Yeah.
pretty.
It is. It
I
is.
really like that.
I have
green
another
versus
one
the blue.
that's the same.
Pardon me while
But
we
yeah,
get
it is- I
ourselves
really like it,
technologically worked out here.
It's great.
Sorry, I panicked and I hit the wrong thing, and then I panicked worse and forgot how to get back to the place that I was.
I feel that.
Yeah, that's a mood.
It's a basic thing. I should have
The
figured out how
story
to
of
do
my
it,
life.
but I
Yeah,
kind of
right?
panicked.
I
Whoa.
panicked. And then
I
I did something else
panicked.
terrible.
I
Panicked more.
panicked and then
because I
panicked
really got the
more.
wrong-
want to get out to the Black Castle. And that's where we are.
This is, okay, so okay.
So wait, we're the farthest point on the water away from it.
Yes.
We
Yes,
should
but we're
not
the
set
only-
sail from here.
No, but we're
But
the
it's
only
in a cove.
civilization point
There's
on
going
this
to
map
be
so far.
ships and a port
Maybe.
and
Yes.
things.
Yes.
Probably.
That's real optimistic.
Maybe. We'll see what happens.
I'm still not convinced that the water thing is strictly necessary.
Does this show up on? It doesn't show up on hit the thing. There we go. Now other people can see what we're talking about too. All right. So yes, you are currently at the farthest point away from Black Castle as far as where the water line is. So well, I guess not technically, but for this intent and purpose. The archers look down at you. You're friendly.
Yes, we're just passing through. We're trying to get to the Black Castle.
The Black Castle? Well, if
Stop scratching at the door.
they don't seem to think that there's anything strange about you at all here.
Yes, but what about my pet?
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I forgot you have a pet displacer beast now. Ha! Are you sure you're friendly? I see those aren't usually friendly,
I can understand your confusion, but
and I've not seen those before. And he points at the Tweedles. Hi.
they
Here, let us check. Are we friendly?
Yes.
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 Most of the time.
Yes.
I'm not
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Yes.
What do you mean by friendly?
The definition of the word.
I have friends, yeah.
Yes, and I'm gonna point at the Tweedles
Hi.
and at Melbane
At your service.
That means yes.
and at the Displacer Beast.
I think that means yes too.
Yeah, I think we're friendly. We checked.
Hold 1 moment, and you hear this as he descends the
This
stairs.
is above my freaking pay grade.
You're not actually getting paid for this.
No, I was talking about the guard.
Oh yeah. You're getting paid?
You kind of hear this these mumbled voices from behind the gate, and like more pitters and patters and whatnot, and slowly the gates open, and this very short, wrinkled old woman comes out with a big smile on her face. She's got like kind of feathers strung into her gray hair.
Open fire.
She's definitely a bad guy.
You're so small.
Yes. Most assuredly, you are observant. I am told you wish to gain entry to our humble village.
We do, yes.
And she kind of fruffles out her gray robes, her gray robes. I don't know her life. Maybe she is, but
Are
Who else
robes
would
of
know
many
better?
colors? Are they one color?
it's like a stole of many colors, but the robes are gray.
Okay.
And they're huge on her arms too, so she just kind of like tucks her hands into them, and
really
she's got
comfy.
this. Yeah, she's got looks really really comfortable, and she has like kind of a bone through her nose cartilage and piercings all over her face.
The
She
old
looks
voodoo woman.
the old woman.
The voodoo woman.
Yeah.
Whole new definition to a bone to pick.
um,
Sorry.
Ew.
In order to cross into
we have
our
to fight
village.
Talking.
Why would you ask that question?
Just
We had to fight the last person.
Experience lately that was the case.
I'm an old woman. Don't be terrible.
I mean, he was a suit of armor.
I am not. I am a soft, squishly, innocent old lady.
Can I roll insight on that?
Two of those were the truth. One of those was a lie.
Can I roll insight on that?
By that.
Sure.
Protect her at all costs.
What? Oh, that was Braden laughing. I was just like, disintegrate. I'm so squishy, I
Me
wouldn't
too.
disintegrate.
That means you have less than 100 hit points, doesn't it?
Two of those
Does
was
it
true.
make
One
you
of those was a lie.
uncomfortable? Yeah, she definitely. She doesn't seem at all evil, but innocent might have been a stretch.
Okay.
It kind of depends
Good to
on
know.
what you are requesting her to know if she is innocent of, is what you get the impression of.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
she ain't vanilla, but.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
So-
It's just not true.
and you kind of see out of the corner of her eye, she catches you looking her up and down and goes.
I wink back.
We request payment, and I understand you will not have what we request initially. But
There's a
I
wooden
must.
boat.
What?
she takes it. Thank you.
Can I pass now?
I don't think that's what.
That's what everyone seems to take as payment.
No.
We're informed.
It is very, very well done, though.
A sack full of gems?
An exchange. We are actually trying to find our own so that when we can, we may restore them in their proper way. So, if we may bind you to your words, that you would be willing to each fetch us the skull of one of our departed and bring it back to us, you may pass.
Shrubbery.
The skulls.
He looks at the skulls on the spears.
Those have already been brought to us, you silly.
And where might we find these skulls?
Well, you did
Probably on the
specify whether or
bodies.
not they
Maybe
had
on the
already.
bodies.
We have lost many to the rebellion in the Red Kingdom.
Can't walk back to the Red Kingdom right now.
I understand this. You seem like people on a mission. So as long as I may bind you to your word, that you will
Pay me tomorrow for the hamburgers.
I mean, that's essentially what's happening here.
Pretty much.
then you may pass. After your goals have been achieved elsewhere, of course.
And I'm supposing that this is the only way that you'll let us in.
Yes,
Why?
because we would like to bring back all of those who have fallen, and we have, on hopefully good authority, that with the skulls of our fallen, at some point some magic can be done that could perhaps restore them all.
Do you take any necromancy spells?
I could.
Some of
I
us
haven't
may have
decided on my
done so.
spells yet, so but I'm considering that.
Roll in a favor.
I think I actually have some that are necromancy. I feel.
From some people who might be traveling this way from the Red Kingdom anyway. I don't know if he's left yet. Our friend the shopkeep.
Mm-hmm.
He was headed this way already.
And we're going to ask him to pick up 9 skulls.
I mean, they're sort of outside the gate anyway. They're on the way.
Maybe maybe we should just flash the pieces of the key and see if that's good enough to let them get past, because, we're saving the world and all.
Not everyone knows about the keys.
And?
What keys?
She's standing there listening intently.
The keys.
Yeah, which keys?
The keys.
Which keys are these?
I have
The
keys.
keys. You have keys, you do not have the keys.
What is the
Unless you
difference?
do have the key, in which case we don't need to go to the Black Castle, we'll just stop here and be good.
I seem to be misunderstanding how an article can change the meaning of a word that much.
Henry,
What?
You have them both.
you have the
Yeah.
keys.
I'll show her the keys.
You have a shiny clockwork sword and a shovel. It's
Right.
a very pretty shovel.
Those are the keys, and the Black Queen has one of them.
I am reasonably
Not one of
positive
these.
that is a piece of a clock and a shovel.
That are
Looks
also
like no key I have seen.
keys.
Oh. I get it now.
Yeah.
They only do see a clock handle and a shovel.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Yes. We'll
Sure.
do it.
Should I?
We'll do it.
Most excellent.
If you say no, you won't, I will consider that working against us.
I was saying that we could call in our favor. That's all I was saying. Alright.
I don't think it'll happen. Sure.
She
It may be a long time before we can get back. I do want to warn you. And we may die in what we're doing.
As long as you keep your word. Well, if you die,
Bless you.
clearly you will no longer be held to that word if you die before you have a chance to fulfill it. But as long as you keep your word, a
Somebody
skull
go after our
shall
skull
stay
if
a
we're
skull.
Okay.
Dead.
What?
Would somebody then go after our skull if we were to die doing so, and then we could complete it later?
We're beginning to see why they need all these skulls to be ready.
Are we going to get people who have made this promise already?
I promise neither here nor there.
Huh.
We're all agreed then.
She's binding
where
us
do
to a
you
word that will
promise?
work as repo men.
Yes.
Around.
I see.
And she does this with her hands, and as she does that, a magical kind of glittery presence sort of escapes, and each one of you sees that there is a band around your wrist now.
Does this seem like magic?
Yes.
Good.
It's not a tattoo this time?
It is
Like
not a tattoo
physical
this time.
band?
It is a physical band.
Does this get us free drinks?
On the cruise.
On the cruise?
I am afraid not. And what cruise?
Well,
The cruise?
The cruise.
Huh.
The only way to get tickets is from the keys.
I'll have to discuss that with the elders.
Well, you never heard the famous Captain Thomas Cruise?
I only know of 2 or 3 captains in the whole continent, really. Anyways, that is
and Morgan.
that is neither here nor there. With that and your promise of payment in the future, I welcome you to our fair city.
And she kind of waddles back into the gates, and the gates open. The archers just look incredibly relieved that they didn't have to try to do anything with this bizarre group of people that was.
It's gonna be a day.
Yeah.
And the gates open up onto a really interesting, eclectic town. Most things seem to be set up in sort of thatch huts, but they're very well designed thatched huts. It smells kind of like incense and spice in the air. Kind of thriving market. You can smell burning, well, not burning, but cooking meats and things like that. It's a strangely busy place for you not having heard any of this on the outside of the gate. You see quite a few tabaxi and, what's the Thrikeen. There we go. Ant people.
Thank you.
There are quite a few of them, and then the usual suspects as far as the other species. But there's a heavy population of Thrikeen and Tabaxi. So for the first time, you're seeing people that look a bit more like yourself. It's a bustling middle of town kind of stretch. It's you are dumped right into Main Street of Cannibal Cove. Everybody has decorated skulls in their on the outsides of their huts for their shops and all of that, and each one is decorated differently, very specifically with great care.
It's a lot of people to bring back from the dead.
I'm gonna shuffle up to the older woman. So first off, what is your name?
Oh, I am Nani Vespinet.
Gesundheit.
Yes. Pleasure, I'm sure.
Did someone sneeze?
I do have
Achoo.
God bless you.
I do have a question.
I might have an answer.
This is called Cannibal Cove.
Indeed.
You seem to decorate with a lot of human skulls.
Indeed.
You don't, by chance, eat any of these people?
These people? No.
Or people?
That's generally fallen out of fashion these days.
Everything in this room is edible.
Even you.
We're not in such habits now. I mean, here and there where it's called for, but not often. We have a plentiful amount of food from the cove usually.
Thank you. You sated my curiosity.
All of these are
But not your hunger.
are victims of violence that was brought upon us from elsewhere. And where enemies are captured, there are ceremonies that still take place, but we're not in the habit of killing people for food.
Everyone gather around the hanging stew.
These cages were built after the crew arrived.
Thank you.
Of course, dear, of course.
Appreciate it.
There is no need to fear for your
Of
lives.
course not.
Perhaps your hands if you don't keep your contract, but
I look at
I'm
Melbane.
so sorry, Melbane. That was insensitive.
what did I... Oh. Let me fix that.
And she, like, waves her hands and it comes up around his neck. He's just like, I have concerns.
He's now a head in a jar.
That was not better.
What?
He kind of, like, tugs at it with his hook and it just, like, snaps right back. I have concerns.
On the bright side, as a choker, it looks really good on you.
Quite fashionable.
Who says that a choker looks good on someone? I'm very confused.
Not going there.
Is this normal for...
Ma'am,
Ah,
could you please? I don't think he likes it.
well, we must have a contract.
fine. She waves her hands again and like, you can kind of see this magical strand unravel, and wrap around his ankle instead.
Better.
Yes.
Okay. Everyone else loses their heads around here. I figured, what's one more?
I like his head.
Most people like their heads.
You kind of see him straighten up and smile a little.
Not the only part she likes.
Someone was gonna say it.
50 Shades of Delirious.
this game more often when you're tired.
That's amazing. he blushes very, very much, just beet red, and Nani Vespit just kind of Vespinet. I can't say names. I can't
okay, I
say
couldn't
things.
have said it anyway.
Nani Vespinet. There we go.
Yeah, you notice I haven't tried to say it.
looks over at the two of you. Ooh.
Who dares?
They better have food.
Why have you come here?
It's the only
They
reason
better
someone
bring
should be at my
offerings,
house.
please.
Did you order DoorDash?
In case you haven't noticed, our doorbell rang, so we've lost our cat. It works. I stand by it.
Fair.
Our doorbell rang.
I mean, cats like bells, right?
Like spying and trying to hear what's going on upstairs.
Nice.
Yep, the
Yeah.
doorbell rang, so we lost our cat. Exactly. That's a thing that happens.
It does happen.
These things do happen.
Now, as one of the elders of the town, I feel very, very obliged to make you feel welcome here and take you to anywhere that you feel so fit.
What did you do? I feel obliged to make you feel very welcome here. And he's like,
Here, I'll make it look more festive for you so it doesn't feel so strange.
And she like waves her hand, and all of a sudden it's like glittery, and it has this little like a party horn that goes off.
That's much better.
We will have a problem if this glitter gets anywhere, because I am wearing slime armor and
I forgot about that.
No, it won't get everywhere. It's too late now.
Oh, that's
Well,
amazing.
I mean, it's been glitter.
Wait,
Like, you can
it's
never
glitter.
get rid of it.
Once it's there, you can't
Especially
get rid of it.
You'll look like glitter slime that
I
the
am
kids
definitely
play
going
with.
to purchase some glitter.
I love this so much.
Okay, now we need to make glitter slime.
How do I draw glitter?
Now we need to make glitter slime with
Colored
some glitter in it.
So he's a
And then just-
minotaur in slime armor that might be glittered very soon. Just saying. Everything cool?
Yep.
So Nani Vespinet has told you that she would be happy to show you around town as much as you would care.
Okay.
And has transformed his little wristband into a very festive glitter party wristband that is now like flashing neon lights and doing this boonch, doonch, doonch thing.
Playing music.
It's a disco wristband. Yep, Minotaur and
exactly what I
slime
It's a glow
armor.
stick.
Yep, it's a glow stick band now. That way you feel more welcome.
Okay.
So, what might we interest you in our town?
This would be like the end of the second day of travel-ish.
One Joe Shilworm.
Joe Shilworm. Oh, yes, at the Wild Magic Emporium.
Sorry. I didn't actually say that.
It was adorable though.
We
I
ate
kind
him.
of loved it.
Oh, good shiver. We ate him.
I was waiting for her to look up at one of the skulls.
Oops.
Sorry, Danny.
You're fine. I'm loving this.
Very well, follow me. I will take you there straight away. He hasn't had guests in a while. He'll be most happy to see you.
Unfortunate.
He kind of or she kind of waddles. She's very easy to keep up with, given that all of you have normal sized legs, well, except those of you who have very long legs. And shows you like past several of the open air huts and whatnot, and finally takes you to one, and the front is open, but it goes back a ways, so it gives the impression once you're in it, that you're in more of a building. And it has like these magical letters that are flashing in front of it that says Wild Magic Emporium, and it's super tacky. It looks like, you know.
It matches your wristband.
Yeah, actually, it matches your wristband pretty well. And
Which one fits the crime, I suppose.
as she walks in, you hear this doo doo, and it's like her when she walks through, you can kind of see this little magic barrier that she walks through. And an older
Does it go
man.
on every time one of us goes through?
Yep.
That's annoying.
You put your left hand in, you put your left hand out.
Did she
So
test
this
it?
beast walks through, and then a couple of seconds later,
I love that. So you all follow her in, and it's a lengthy shop. It's bigger on the inside, and there are a lot of interesting, bizarre things up on the shelves and whatnot. There's an older man behind the cabinet.
this one's for you.
The cabinet?
Yes, he's sitting behind
Sure.
a cabinet.
Sure, I'm going with that.
So, DM, is the Minotaur's armor like knight armor or like leatherish seeming?
Because I actually haven't put the stats in on that yet.
Oh, I need to give you those. So Chipper, have you ever played Munchkin?
So it's like a suit of knight's armor made out of slime.
Yeah, it's goopy slime armor.
So plate armor.
And I will
No, it doesn't sound like anything. It feels like Jello.
because I forgot to give you the stats on that. Take a 2 beef on AC for right now, and
Sorry, take a what?
So
Oh, let's
add
do
to
the
your
AC
AC for
moment.
right
Let's
now,
do
and we'll
your
go
AC.
through and we'll iron that out later.
I'm
I
not
just kind of
super
forgot that you
concerned
had
about
that.
it. Not a big
Um,
deal.
So
Is it slimy on both the outside and the inside?
I mean, probably because it's
Oh,
kinda
fur.
that's gotta chafe something terrible.
No, he has fur.
it's just got to stick
Ew.
something terrible.
Yeah, that's
Worse.
what I'm thinking. Is
it's
like,
even worse. Ugh.
Yep.
I don't have to breathe.
Oh, does it smell?
Probably a little.
Oh.
It might depend. Like,
it smells like those little flubber things you could play with as a kid.
Does he have
Light
to
bit
keep
of
it wet
alcohol.
or it dries out?
no, it's perma slime.
It's magic
Okay.
slime.
It's
Yeah,
magical
It just
slime.
constantly oozes new layers of.
This is why I'm always
Kinda.
chipper and happy. Is like I don't deal with this stuff.
For reference, Braden is a clockwork man. I don't know if you've actually caught all the descriptions and whatnot, so anybody who wants to, feel free to jump into chat and describe yourself so she knows what she's got to work with here. Yeah, there's an elderly man behind the cashier's cabinet. The cashier's cabinet, that's the thing now.
Cashier's cabinet.
Yep. And he is he's looking at Nani Vespinet with curiosity.
Well, hello. How are you all? Well, what can I do for you?
Did you get a message recently?
Oh, the pixie.
Mhm.
I did. It's lovely to know that things are patching themselves up in the Red Kingdom. I was concerned for my brother's well-being.
Brother or uncle?
Oh crap.
Uncle's well-being.
Uncle's well-being.
Both.
Virgil should be on his way.
He's even older than me. Is it a safe thing?
Ish.
That's fair. Nothing's an especially safe thing right now. And that's reasonable. You'll have to excuse me. I might have to ask you to repeat yourselves now and then. I'm a little hard of hearing.
What?
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 Yes! Of course! All along!
Asshole.
I'm glad you agree.
Naturally. Anyway, I was experimenting a couple of weeks ago, and I'm afraid explosions happened, and I still hear a ringing in my ear.
So is he talking at a normal volume, or is he like, I
He's
still
shouting.
hear ringing in my ear?
He's shouting. I just can't because microphone. But yeah, he's speaking unusually loudly. Well, you assume unusually loudly. It would be unusual for a normal person to talk this loudly.
So what can I assist you with? Is there anything that I can do for you, as you, I assume, are the bringers of my good news that my family is well and coming to visit, even better.
I'm
Anything?
just gonna start
No?
poking around the store to see what I come across.
Okay, Brayden, why are we here?
We're passing through, but it's headed towards evening.
Right. Oh, right.
you have your
What does this guy have? Your uncle said that you had some unique items that could help us as well.
Oh, yes, I do have some interesting items. I mean, this whole shop is full of interesting items. There are things that explode. Some of them are supposed to, some of them I'm still working on. There are things that can create light in dark places. There are a variety of staffs that have been traded and altered and such. He kind of like gestures over to this very unceremonious looking like umbrella stand full of these staffs.
Buy one, get one half off.
There's some rods here and there too, and there's another umbrella stand full of rods. We've got quite an impressive collection of dragon glass that has various enchantments on different things. There are lenses made of dragon glass as well, which are useful, usually. There are some various bits and bobs.
Breaking and
that-
entering.
What?
No, not in character.
I'm trying to think of things that you might find useful. What might you need to use whatever for? What is your project at hand?
You wouldn't happen to have
say
a boat in a
we'll-
bottle, would you?
A moat
A boat.
in a
In a
puddle.
bottle.
What?
A ship.
A ship.
Now,
shit.
I don't know that I would want to offer you that right now, sir. That seems naughty.
Ship? He's hard of hearing. He's hard of hearing.
Takes all kinds.
Aside from which, the last time I ate was hours ago, so you know.
Can I interest you in some jerky?
What now? Oh, thank you. This looks lovely.
James, can you heal him? And
And Melvane might be able to just. Oh.
Melvane just cuts his eyes over to you.
Sorry, I'm still working on that.
Me too. Wouldn't you know, it hasn't regrown yet.
Oh, Melvin, do you want to...
I think I can. He kind of like half smiles as he's saying it.
Melvin's middle name is Thomas.
Oy.
So you were looking for a mope?
Something to sail.
Oh, man!
Something to sail. I do not personally possess something to sail. However, I do know of someone who could sail through the. What are your feelings towards pirates?
Melvane?
Melvane's eyes get really big.
Ah, yes, gesturing with your hooked hand, I'll take it as a yes.
it's a shoddy kind of crowd that you might sail back and forth with. But frequently on the shores of the desert, there are ties that can that tie off to docks various boats. You can usually find a dinghy or two. I hear word that there's a special, like, underground ravine that has an enchanted boat or something from the Rune Jungle, but I don't know that there's anything to that.
Fair enough. Pirates it is.
Ding ding, and or Nina, and like a couple of more people walk in the door and start kind of perusing a little bit.
I'm just gesturing down at the people like, you don't want to be
You're
here.
doing the like.
they look at you kind of strangely and then like slowly back out.
I look like I'm just sort of looking up and praying.
Or a paladin.
Any god listening.
We don't want to talk to the god of here.
The next time Melbane or Melbane like kind of catches your eye and leans over towards you. The next time we're discussing things alone, I would love to know how you came by these people's company. He just kind of leans
Hello.
back up.
It's a fascinating story.
I'm intrigued. And the man starts to kind of like hop down from his cabinet because now that's a thing that is true. He starts kind of rustling through different shelves and like there are these rune sigils and these can help you see at night if you can't, and let's see.
Oh.
What else do we have?
That'd be nice for you.
What?
Really
nice for all the
quick, while
people.
he's looking around for stuff, I'm just gonna kind of keep an eye on the Tweedles.
So- The Tweedles could not fit in
The door.
without breaking the thatch roof.
Oh, thank
So
goodness.
roll me a perception. Anybody who wants to who can do this. It's an open air front for the most part, other than the enchantment.
Natural 20.
So you catch this before it happens, but as it's winding up to happen. The Tweedles being left unattended in a large town that is full of people and has a nice straightaway right down the middle. Think that bowling seems like an awesome idea.
Yay.
So Tweedledee is trying very, very hard to coax Dum into cannonballing so that he can roll him down through the center of town.
No. D and Dum.
Yes.
You should not do that.
I know you told me that, but
You can't bowl here. There are no
I-
pins.
And people are not pins.
They can't be two
Oh,
things.
dear.
They're people, not pins.
oh dear,
And without pins, it can't be bowling.
we've been bowling wrong for years.
Well, you just need to find some pins. That's the only problem here, right?
What are pins if they aren't people?
They're pins.
They could be
Remember,
people.
two things cannot be at once.
What?
Okay, so we just bowl with people instead.
No, you bowl with pins.
And I have something else.
Does it really
Silence.
matter?
I cast silence.
Sorry, that was loud.
I mean, it's centered on me, so yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What's...
Are you? How far
Is
are
there-
you?
is there a
like,
spell
where?
slot?
I would have got over to
Is there?
No.
No, I didn't.
It's just if you're close
Yeah.
enough to me, you get silent.
I forget. Do they? You
But
got
that's
this-
everyone.
Do you know if you've been silenced?
Well, I mean, anyone in the
Anyone
radius.
in the radius.
There is no sound.
Huh, I wonder. I should have counterspelled that, but
Tweedledee is
Yeah,
shouting and
you could have.
Now he seems really excited that there's this new interesting effect going
guess
on,
that's
and
okay.
you can feel the ground
really do it during
as he's like
casting.
dancing, doing essentially the Tweedle version of the Macarena. And you can hear, like, you can feel the vibrations in the ground as this is happening, and he is just loving it, and there's this crowd gathering around, just like, what?
Except if any of them are close enough to me that they can hear nothing and they can make no sound.
Some of them are talking and walk into the range, and they're just like,
I'm
Step
just
So you guys gonna finish shopping?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the stand that's got like the staffs, I guess, on it, and just start picking through to see what's there.
what are you
I'm
looking
just
for anything?
just not looking for
This
anything.
just
in
feels
particular,
like a
just-
section of Disneyland.
So they're, and you,
Yes.
I mean,
you're on a
you're
shelf or
wrong.
you're on one of the stands of staffs and rods.
That's the stand of staffs.
Stand of staffs. Most of these look,
More like magical.
Walking sticks.
they
Walking
look
sticks.
essentially like, excuse me, I'm not sick, that's drainage. Most of them look like walking sticks. Some of them seem like they've got some enchantments on them and whatnot.
Okay.
The rods, however, in the umbrella stand next to it, a couple of them look a little bit fancier. If you had somebody identifying it, you could probably figure it out. And they could be used as staffs, you figure. One of them's kind of cool. It has like this super tentacle-y shape to it, all that kind of stuff.
Oh.
I love that
Yes,
one.
slime armor is see-through. Waltzing around butt naked. I will leave that to you, Stephen.
If so, I'm probably wearing pants as well, but they're just disgusting.
Yeah, really gross pants.
Like everything else on you.
All right. So having looked at that, I'm just gonna start making my way down the shelves.
Yeah, you see some different like enchanted clock type pieces, different things like that. Yeah, you would notice them. They're really pretty craftsmanship.
Father?
Some of them have magical enchantments on them. Some of them don't. But they're all very, very pretty, and some of them also involve some of the dragon glass. So you get the idea that there's a lot of dragon glass that floats around through this area.
Mhm.
Apparently, it's pretty prized.
If only I could identify it.
Do you? Oh, you
I
can't
can't.
until you can talk again.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Well, I figure if we're at the back of the store, we'd be out of range.
Well, and
it was supposed to be
it's 20
really
The
big.
Tweedles weren't in the store.
Oh,
so.
So
Am
yeah,
I out
you're
of
probably
range?
okay.
It's a 20-foot.
20-foot range, so
It's
yeah,
a
you're
20-foot
probably
range.
out
Okay.
of range.
I will cast identify.
So one of the specifically on the like one of the clocks, are you casting it on one of the ones with dragon glass or one of the ones that are just like
I have time.
fair enough? What else? You
I
are
wasn't even making a
time.
joke.
But it's this one has a really, really interesting gear right in the center of it that is made from this like super strong obsidian that they are referring to as dragon glass. And some of the things that you see knickknacks around the shop that are dragon glass are like dark obsidian, and some of them seem like they're kind of smoky and you can see whatever it's encasing through it. But this is a solid black piece of obsidian that has a gear like right in the middle of it. And this has the effect of being able to unwind 5 points of damage. It has 1 charge a day. So it essentially reverses your damage without actually impacting time. You set it like a clock, but you
Does
could.
it require a bonus action, an action?
It's an action.
Okay.
So, that would be that's the one that you're on currently. How much time are you intending on staying
I
here.
mean,
and
silence is
identifying
still up,
things.
so I'll go to the next piece.
Fair enough. Just,
How
there
long
is
does it take?
Hour, isn't it?
It takes
there is still a dancing Tweedle outside and just
Silence is-
enjoying himself
How
so
long is
much.
silence?
An
I'm
hour.
pretty sure it's
No,
an
it's
hour.
10 minutes.
Is it 10
It might be
minutes?
10
I just
minutes.
looked it up. It's 10 minutes.
Okay,
Okay.
not bad.
So
Yeah.
and
So
it
silence
takes you 1
still-
minute to how long does it?
I think it takes me like 10 minutes.
as a ritual.
As
Yeah.
a ritual,
Okay.
which I assume I'm doing, so.
Okay, so yeah, before silence fades, you'll get one more. So, one of there's a pair of glasses that effectively gives you night vision, or you know, dark vision,
Right.
as like the glasses of dark vision or goggles of dark
Goggles
vision.
of dark vision.
But it also gives you advantages on saving throws to sense things that are invisible around you, or perception checks. I'm sorry. So that's one of the things on the shelf. And about that time, silence is removed, and you hear a hellfire racket outside. There's like a dancing Tweedle singing at the top of his lungs, and the other Tweedle is howling because he can't actually form words. And both of them suddenly realizing how loud they're being go, huh? I changed. That changed. Real quick like. What?
Yes, well, what
Oh.
I was going to say is that you could stand watch outside the shop while we sort some things out.
We can watch things.
Yes.
We are watching Tweedles,
Yes.
which is different than watchers, because we can't be watchers
Because
and
adjectives
Tweedles.
modify nouns.
We are watching Tweedles.
Watching adventuring Tweedles.
So you're watching each other?
You can see as he said that, he was like, and then kind of looked at the other Tweedle.
Either way.
It has served its purpose.
Dumb kind of, oh. Well,
Blue flower, red
but
thorns,
we're
blue
watching
flower, red
Tweedles,
thorns.
which means I watch you now. So you can see, like, Dumb is doing what you expect him to do, keeping watch, and D is just, like, staring at him.
Nice.
Nice.
The interesting Yorkshire accent. This is, the accents will probably devolve continually throughout the night.
It's fine. This is the realm of madness.
It is. This is the realm of madness, so nothing makes sense here. If you catch something that makes no sense whatsoever, just know that we are playing in the realm of madness. So, I meant to do that.
It was all totally intentional.
Yes. If you stay around a little bit longer, you can continue to identify things.
Sure.
Is there anything else you guys are doing?
Nope, looks
here?
like the Tweedles have been handled.
Okay, the Tweedles have been handled. You guys spend the next several whiles in the store.
What
There is a
staffs are there?
what's that?
What staffs are there in the store?
The
Big
staffs,
ones,
like
small
there,
ones, ones as big as your head.
there's a wild magic staff that you're not totally sure what you're gonna get because it's wild magic.
Don't touch the Jabberwock.
It pretty much has a it has 5 charges a day, but the effects are wildly varied depending on what you roll. You don't have much of a control over it. It's a percentile
Cast
roll.
Fireball.
Breeze.
There are
Seen
rods though.
invisible
There's a
things.
tentacle rod. It's pretty cool looking.
Oh.
Although maybe not your style. I don't know.
The hentai rod.
Are you into hentai or not?
It was actually like around the corner in the section behind the beaded curtain.
have to present ID.
Yes, you have to show your ID to get to that part of the store. I should have read chat just now. But there's also what I don't know if you would have known that one. But there's another one that looks like it's kind of special. It has a trigger kind of thing at the top of it. That looks sort of interesting. Yeah, that's gonna devolve even.
A
more.
bomb?
Tentacle rod now.
Ah!
Tick, tick, tick,
That one
tick,
might
tick.
also be around the corner behind the beaded curtain. I don't know.
Pay no attention to the things behind the beaded curtain.
I didn't realize that the Wild Magic Emporium was gonna have a rated X section, but
You brought this upon yourself.
it's canon now.
When you need that special kind of magic.
When your marriage has lost its magic.
Oh my god. Yeah.
That's what it says all above the door.
How much is the
Magical
tentacle rod?
So they have it marked as being 5 gold pieces plus. You're not sure what the plus is,
Okay.
but it's 5 gold pieces plus,
Okay.
whatever that is.
Okay.
So yeah, that is what it is currently marked at.
Okay.
It's interesting. Oh yeah, you guys know you can add quotes, right? Show them how to add quotes. That way they can appropriately add quotes.
Because Asmodene 7 just said something really funny.
It's real good. Yes, please quote that. Make that one of our quotes. I suppose I should read it aloud.
And how much is that Dragonlance cog thing?
The dragon.
The dragon glass.
Sure.
Dragon
I'm
glass.
cool with that.
Cog.
The Dragonlance cod. I almost said that very correctly. The Dragonlance cod piece.
That's better than last.
Dragon glass cock cream. Okay, sorry. We have never pretended necessarily to be a family-friendly show.
If that's your kink, that's your kink.
Everybody's got one.
Yeah.
So. I'm sorry. The price tag on that is listed at 3 gold pieces ?
Okay.
Oh, my brain hurts now.
Okay. Well, I will.
3 plus or minus the square root of 45 gold pieces.
I suppose I'll ask the shopkeeper. I can't remember what his name is.
Joe.
Joe. Joe.
Joe.
Okay. I would like to purchase this.
Oh, excellent.
What are you buying?
The tentacle rod.
Of course.
We need this in our party.
And now we know what your kink is. Confirmed.
Indeed. So he looks like,
Oh, excellent choice. So that is 5 gold and a barter. I'm happy with gold is short, so we do what we can with what we have to work with, of course.
That's hard.
Okay, I'm going to give him a piece of rope.
roll me.
This can go
Oh,
behind
can I roll it?
Of binding.
Can I roll a
Silk.
persuasion?
Roll me persuasion.
Okay.
Oh, you guys are.
Oh, that was a bad persuasion.
What do you mean how bad? That's what are you looking?
It's fine. It's fine. 6.
6.
On a natural
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
No, he's pretty gullible, but he's not that gullible today.
Already have 3 ropes of binding back
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Just roll.
Well,
Oh, that's a great day for drainage. Every
okay.
time I
Well,
laugh.
how about 6 gold pieces?
What else might you have?
I don't know what else I have because we haven't decided them, so
That's fair.
I like don't.
There's some.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what I would
glasses
have.
in
You
here
have
that
kind of
can
the
help you see
Hatter
in the
vibe
dark.
going
Would you
on?
Like them?
Yeah.
Have any spare hats on you?
That might not be a bad idea.
Yes, I probably would. Yeah.
Would probably work better
Describe
for you,
it,
and it can
roll me
help
a
you
persuasion.
See,
Okay.
hopefully see
Okay.
invisible creatures better.
Okay. 20.
Thank you for your follow.
23, and then all right. So the hat I pull
might need to
out
Sack of gems, though.
I'll just
is
hand you the bag.
A New
like
York
a
Yankees
top
baseball
hat.
cap.
A top
A
hat.
top hat.
It's made of silk, and it has some floral accents on it as well. So it's red. Red silk, yeah.
And what'd you roll for your persuasion?
23.
23. I would take the 5 gold and that there.
Excellent. It is a deal.
Excellent. Excellent. It is a deal indeed.
Thank you for the sub. I appreciate that.
Thank
You're
you.
awesome.
I'm glad you like dirty jokes.
Yes.
Doesn't everyone
Nice.
come here for?
Okay.
Jokes. Yep.
So you have to tell me what this tentacle rod does.
Do you need directions?
I
Do
think
you-
we'll all step out.
Yes.
I will.
I would like directions.
I'm going to hand you the Dungeon Master's Guide. I'm relatively sure that it. Oh, actually, he will
Okay.
hand you his Dungeon
Okay.
Master's Guide, and it
Okay.
is in there.
Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
show, don't tell.
Don't tell.
I will walk up to the counter, I guess.
The cabinet.
Oh, is the cabinet?
It's a
Oh,
cabinet.
okay. I have the glasses, the hourglass cog piece,
Oh,
and what I can only assume is the rod with the button, which I assume is the immovable rod from the list.
You are correct.
Well, oh, did
Okay.
you find it?
I was thinking of purchasing these.
most excellent. So, as I told the young man there, we have a bit of a barter system happening, and so while I would love the amount of gold there,
Which it's like because of the low prices on everything, the gold requested only amounts to like 15 gold.
Right.
But I would appreciate some reasonably high value barters for particularly this item.
And he kind of like nods towards the rod.
Can
but-
trade you 2 secrets.
Well, we do have this sack of gems that we have come across in our journey.
Ooh, I like that. I would be willing to perhaps take some of those off of your hands.
Of course.
I could, yes. I feel like that would be a fair trade.
Yeah, there was a number of them from. There's actually 2 small bags of gemstones in there, 'cause one of them is from the worm, and one of them is from the Red Queen.
Hey, we'll give him the worm bag.
The worm bag, the worm poop.
Worm poop.
Excellent.
Right.
So was there anything like a quarterstaff or anything like that that seemed particularly interesting or?
Keith
I'll
wants
put
a
that
magic
down in
weapon.
There
I will
is
hand you
an
the
enchanted quarterstaff
glasses
that
of
looks
night vision.
interesting.
So put that down.
That like
I can always just.
it looks like it's in
No,
much
it
better
just, like,
condition
those
than
like,
yours.
tiny ones that are just like
Well,
a
never
mirror.
mind. It definitely is in much better
I was
condition.
gonna say they're bifocals.
Okay.
And I'll take the rest. Or
So you are. It's.
Yeah, I'll. I don't know what I'm going to use to pay for it,
Um,
but yeah, I'll take
Emma,
that up.
I know that you're still upset with me, and I can't buy your favor, but I can at least purchase this for you, and I'm going to take out the bag of the purple worm scales that I gathered.
Ooh.
These were gathered from a large worm-like creature that attacked the White Queen's castle.
Most excellent. I won't take all of them off of your hands because these can be quite valuable. But I believe 2.
Cool.
I think that would be a fair deal for a staff as this. I think that these could be enchanted to bring me a pretty penny, or gold piece, or mushroom, or something. Most excellent. Here you are, lovely lady.
And just as a side note, the dragon glass cog, just once per day you can regain 5 hit points, right?
Yes.
I was just writing it
I'm
down.
actually going to say once per short rest.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, you could probably make everything in this store vaguely phallic in nature. Yes. It wasn't supposed to start out that way, but now it is. So we're
Wait,
running with
how
it.
are we making these glasses phallic?
You know, some things I just know you shouldn't ask.
We'll find a way. Give me time. So yeah, you got that. Anything else that anyone is interested in here?
So apparently, Asmodean seems to think that the quarterstaff should be named the African Dragon.
And so it is. It is beautifully decorated.
Canon.
I mean, yes, it is called the African Dragon. You now possess the African Dragon staff.
Additionally, do you happen to have any armor that doesn't produce ichor as you wear it? I do enjoy this armor, but no one will stand next to me.
And that's his kink.
I like being dry.
I don't have armor that will probably be any better than what you have. However, what I do have is
So
this. He like holds up this vial, and there's kind of a shimmery liquid in it, and
Glitter.
glitter into your slime.
table
son.
glitter.
Exactly.
This actually is a serum of destinking. So while you'll still look disgusting, well, no offense, but you will no longer smell repulsive to those around you.
Take what I can get.
Apply 3 times a day. If effects last longer than 12 hours, visit your doctor.
You want to die in a tent? What?
Yes.
Ooh.
Well, that's
Here, have a
seems-
scale.
There's a sale.
Yep. Thank
Ah.
you.
Always.
Interesting. You're an odd bunch, aren't you?
I need to
You
make a
have
note.
no
What
idea.
gave it away?
Well, is there anything else that I can interest you in? This is more business than I've done in weeks. I'm incredibly happy that you're here.
Oh, so
I've
maybe I
got one
should
more thing.
filter
I
out
just
the
want to. I have one more thing. I'm gonna write it down real quick.
Okay.
Just to get your take on how this would work.
Okay. No problem.
RP.
D&D Beyond.
Does not
Does not
sponsor.
sponsor us, but
We don't have any
Cool.
sponsors
Made that
currently.
joke.
Your ad
has-
could be here.
It's been at least like most of a campaign since I've made that joke.
What is
Yeah.
the
Definitely
Yeah.
made it in
bonus
this
on
campaign.
that?
No?
I'll give you better
Probably like
specifics
halfway
later,
through.
but for
Okay.
right now,
Yeah,
let's
fine.
say +2 to hit and damage,
Okay.
and
Counts to sponsor us.
we will work out some of the other specifics.
We think we're fine.
Because some of this crap I'm making up as I go.
Sponsors will sponsor us.
I'm some flavored weapon lubricant. There you go. There's like a whole shelf of like flavored weapon lubricant. Sure.
Oh.
You're wearing KY jelly armor.
Excuse you. KY jelly?
I didn't come up with this.
Come on, I don't use Walmart brand.
I am really sad that we can't. Like, why are the quotes not working? They're the quote ads. I'm very sad about
No,
this.
I need to look at the. I need to look at something.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chipper. She says I'm innocent, not.
Sorry.
Bold-faced lies! None of these are truths and one of them is a lie!
Yes.
For the whole continent.
Oh, for the whole continent?
Sure, why not? Come on. Where's your sense of adventure?
What is the worst that can happen?
I will say you could probably make a large area effect. It's not going to be that large,
Oh, okay.
but
Quarter of the continent?
I could see there being a possibility for like multiple uses of it if you can get it working well enough.
All right. Just let me know what I need.
I don't know what this is, but this sounds
In
dangerous
his
and wonderful.
stack of sigils, you find a few different glyphs that you weren't familiar with immediately, but after identifying them, they make big bada boom.
Okay.
So
Legend has it they once killed a
those
Dracolich.
there are 3.
Shut it.
I missed the thing. What?
Well, you said they were glyphs that make they go boom. And I said legend has it they once killed a Dracolich.
Yes. I was reading too many things at the same time. Yes, legend has it. They were used to decapitate a Dracolich once.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't kill it. They decapitated it.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then we circle jerked it to death. That's not what we did. That may not be totally accurate, but that's not wrong.
That was the campaign before. I'm not trying that. That was the campaign before we started streaming Chipper, and there were some hilarious misunderstandings of rules, and the circle jerk was more of a circle stab, but it's still there were many.
When it happened,
You
someone
know?
called it a circle jerk.
Yes, they
Oh,
did.
wait.
Yeah.
That might have been
Of course it was.
Oh
Jeremy
my
or
gosh.
Or Jordan.
Right.
Bob.
For the sake of brevity, I will give the rune.
Yes.
Yes, these sigils would do well for
The thing. Oh my gosh, I can't even. The DM has been derailed.
Everyone just breathe.
Oxygen is good.
Sigil?
S-I-G-I.
Well, I don't know how to spell it.
Well, it is a weird word, yeah.
But I will give you stats on how that works. And
Right.
we will develop a good idea for how things work together.
I'm
Later on.
addicted to
That
make a Gauss
sounds.
cannon.
Everything sounds dirty to my mind now, you guys. Oh my gosh.
So we need to go find a place to bed for the night.
Sorry.
I did not say together.
I know.
But you didn't say it wasn't.
You didn't say a part
Brain
together.
is just so thoroughly in the gutter now. Okay. So Nani Vespinet is still with you guys, and
Oh, poor dear.
you kind of gather she is unfazed by all of this. So
Alright.
she might be a frequent shopper here. So, she.
Yep.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Janice, here, take this. And I will hand you the immovable rod.
Okay.
You push the button as you hand it to him.
Wait.
I'll hand you that because you don't have anything special, so.
You don't have any.
Wow. Harsh.
You don't have
Know how to
anything
use the
special.
thingy. Is that a tentacle?
Don't make me the bad guy!
So you, she kind of. I'm sorry. My brain is just elsewhere now. Okay. Yes, it is thoroughly gutterfied. Nani Vespinet kind of smiles at
Naughty
you.
Vespinet.
So you
Yep.
What?
Sorry.
What?
Ooh.
Keep going. Keep going. He's gonna lose it if you don't.
Oh no. Okay.
So you need an inn for the night then?
Yes.
Very well. I will take you to. Shit.
Jason's just gone. Keep
then.
I'll make sure that you get set up in the best inn in town then.
Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. Come along. Anything else here before we leave?
Not that I can think of right now. We can always come back if we think of anything else.
Very, very well. I will get you set up with the best food and the best beds in this village. And
Well, it's very generous of you.
I can't even look at Brayden. Brayden, you're supposed to be my solid foundation.
Okay.
Composure.
Composure.
Look at Keith. Just look at Keith the whole time.
Yeah, just look at
Look at
Keith.
Keith. He's not even looking at you.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out the quote thing, or something.
Yeah. I'll have to do it offline. When we're done.
Is it mod only?
No, because the quote should be the quote is open for everybody, so I don't know why it won't let other people
Add quotes.
Add.
Well, if nothing else, I
We'll
can
have
go
to try
back
it
through
by
and pick out the stuff that we want to add and add it later. So that's a
Yeah.
possibility.
Is it not working for everyone?
doesn't seem to be.
We'll get it
Chipper
figured out.
tried a couple of times and it didn't work.
We'll get it figured out so you can add quotes. Okay. So Nani Vespinet kind of guides you through. There are several different places that you guys pass by, and Steven's sitting too close to Keith. You see an apothecary, a library, some different things like that through town. And you end up at a place that I had named at some point.
It might be good to get some healing. I was about to say healing potions, but we don't have money.
I have a full bag of
Oh,
dragon
true.
scales.
This
Or,
is true.
uh,
This is true.
We might
Worm
try that
scales.
tomorrow.
There's a large tavern that has an inn attached to it that she guides you into, and
This will be the best place for the evening for you. It's our best and maybe only inn.
make it the best.
It would
Also,
also make it the worst.
as we do only have one inn, if you are short on cash, we do have the option of some of the locals are willing to open their homes to people passing through on royal business. That is an option, as I sense that you are here on royal business.
Yes.
We could probably plug their dragon scales and get put up.
More than
They work from
likely.
a dragon, but yeah. Wrong kind of worm.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that out loud. I'm fairly certain they go for more as dragon scales. Although, worm scales might also be
WYRM.
interesting.
WORM. It's very similar.
Just say dragon.
Indeed.
I will just hand you the bag of scales.
But if you need me, you can summon me on this.
and she flips Emmy a coin.
Flip it and I will be here if you should need anything. And, yes, otherwise I intend on going and discussing things with the Council of Elders and making sure that they know of our contracts.
Well, thank you for your assistance. We appreciate it.
Thank you for your assistance. We appreciate it as well.
Melbane just kind of looks at his ankle and looks back up. It kind of carries on about going into the tavern. There's a tall half-orc behind the tavern who is kind of serving up food and beverage to people. It's a busy place. There are several humanoid-looking people. There are several tabaxi. There's a lion-looking fellow, or not lion, tiger-looking fellow whose race I forget what they are. There are yeah, that one.
Their hands are backwards.
Uh-huh.
There's a group of three keen that are nomming face first into some grub-oriented food.
Local culture.
Yep.
We have to try this out.
Have you seen the how different animals eat videos. That's all. Ah! I'll show you later. You'll appreciate
it's a
it.
good video.
So you are now at. I have the name of this place written somewhere. But apparently, it's not here. So it's the tavern for right now. It's the Tavern.
I mean, there's only one.
There's only
There's
one.
only one.
Yeah, there are food stands throughout town, but this is the one like legitimate tavern that also has like a restaurant in it and such. So yes, you are free to speak to whom you want, do what you want, order what you'd like.
So how many rooms do we need?
3, 2 at the least.
So we need one for Melbane and company, and we need one
Melbane looks around and company.
and company. We need one.
I thought you were referring to the Tweedles.
I don't know how we're gonna fit them in the tavern.
Oh, right.
You can hear a voice outside, but they're not bowling with people, so you know it's something.
Do you want to share a room?
Sure.
That was very presumptuous of you.
Do you have a
me?
problem with sharing a room with Melbane?
That's not.
Would you like to not share a room with Melbane? I would be happy to share a room with Melbane.
I mean, we do need to work on his hand still, so having you for fitting might help, but that's not, of course, a necessity.
I just need a corner.
I would hate for anyone to question the lady's purity.
So
I don't think anyone would.
you don't want to share a room with her.
That's what I understood.
I didn't say that. I feel.
All right. Well, the
It's
two.
all right, dear. Life is short. Take what advantages you can.
That might be the wrong word, but
Did you have to borrow my tentacles?
Hey, dear, do you want to share a room?
Right?
Whatever you would like to do.
Wait, so
so
do you both not want to share rooms with one another?
It's not proper.
So that's a no. You would not like to share a room.
He's so uncomfortable right now. I would be most pleased to share the lady's company. However,
So
not at
you-
the expense of her
So
honor.
yes.
gosh.
Is sleeping normally this complicated for you?
Oh, Janice, you poor sweet boy.
Melbane walks over
Sweet
and she,
innocent boy.
I believe things will be said regardless, so if you would like to keep my company tonight, I will assure you that I will not intrude in any way into your personal space.
Done.
So you are sharing
Sharing
the
the room. That's
Okay.
yes.
He kind of like
Poor sweet innocent
the
boy.
wall. Like, he looks like he's just been tortured into this somehow. But
I feel that I'm going to be a permanent shade of red.
you match Melbane, so it's okay.
One room for the tomatoes, and you want to excuse me? Bless you. I assume that we can work tonight on that hand a little further. Janice, do you mind sharing a room?
No.
I just need a corner. I just need a corner.
Oh, that does.
I was wondering when you were going to get to that, dear.
I didn't really think it through. It was talking out loud.
Yes, you don't make a habit of thinking things through, do you?
It is one of my flaws. Yes.
Well, so long as you know it, dear.
Working on that.
I'll take a room to myself. Myself and Salacia.
Oh, that's his name?
Gesundheit.
It's Punjabi for slash.
Needless.
Wow, you put a lot of work into that.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a lot more work than Roland put into his cat.
my sir, do you have a room? Was it discussed where you would be?
I require no room.
Wait, what?
You don't
Oh,
have a room?
I thought you had Mordenkainen's Magnificent Mansion there for a second.
No, I don't.
It's like, are we that level
But
so
I'm
far?
used to sleeping outside, so.
Are you certain? I'd feel odd with any one of our group having to be.
The Tweedles?
I don't know where to put them. They take up an entire room, each of them.
Yeah.
You could put them in the bomb.
That's an idea, actually.
Is there a bomb?
We might need to tell them not to eat the horses.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
I'll make sure they don't eat them. I'll make sure they don't eat anything.
You will make sure they don't eat anything?
Yes.
Well, this can only go well.
Insight check.
Sure.
Cocked.
Are you trying to be deceptive?
No.
Tweedles are gonna die.
21.
Well, I was telling the truth, so.
Okay.
So yeah, or he rather intends on keeping.
Not
his-
letting them eat anything.
Yeah.
Alright.
At all.
Oh dear. So yeah, that's been worked out. So now you're free to eat unless you're a Tweedle apparently, and
So 3 rooms?
Sure.
That's what I think I got out of that.
Yes, 3 rooms.
So I'll step up to the half-orc.
good evening. How are you?
I'm well, how are you?
I am well.
Good, I'm glad you're well. We need 3 rooms.
Excellent. I was wondering when that was when you were going to get to the point
I'm
there.
glad you're glad I'm well.
As I flip my phone across the room. Most excellent. 3 rooms, single suite, double suite. What do we need?
One of them should at least be a double suite. I think the others are good for a bed apiece.
Very well.
You're not there.
No, I'm not.
Most excellent.
Well, nobody's not gonna get any sleep tonight.
Nope.
Just be on the floor.
Not my problem.
He hands you 3 keys that have letters kind of like dug into the.
Yes, and now you have to play
keys.
Russian roulette. Which one is the double?
Again, not my problem. Okay, and then I will just hand him a couple of gemstones and then a couple of gold pieces.
Perfect. Wonderful.
You just overpaid by so
Yes,
much.
you did.
I have no idea how money works here.
We'll get a real good breakfast.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Would you guys be interested in some ale and some food?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. What kinds of things do you like?
So I think, and I'm just sort of gonna gesture, but I'm gonna like do it so that they can't see. Those 2 might need a little bit of extra alcohol. They're gonna have a rough night. The rest of us, I think, probably just a mug and then food for everyone. Whatever's on the menu.
Not sure, but one of them really enjoys their tentacles. Yes. So there's he kind of smiles and nods. Gotcha. And gestures for you to kind of have a seat.
Table over here, everyone.
While he starts your food, a couple of gentlemen come over to you and look. You're new in town. We don't see many new people in town.
That's because the price of entry is very high.
Yeah, we don't really much agree with that particular cost, but it's been a recent addition since so many people started losing their heads. The Red Queen was a difficulty to our land.
That has been at least mostly remedied at this point. I mean,
Really?
not the head part, but the Red Queen is no longer beheading folks.
Huh. Interesting.
The other one kind of like elbows that one. Say it. Yeah. Say it. He looks at him. I don't know. I don't know.
Out with it, dears.
He kind of gets down where nobody else can hear.
The red duck sinks at twilight.
He kind of stands back and waits for your reaction.
Can I do an intelligence check to know what the proper answer to that would be?
I'd like to.
Yes, but the purple sky has moths flying.
Apparently, you don't know all the codes.
The black swan raises at dawn.
Did you know any of these? Familiar with those.
Duck off a
You were
water's
looking
back.
for someone else, dears.
No, they're not.
No?
You found the right people.
Roll me a deception check. Think high thoughts.
20? Unnatural?
Oh. Shit. Okay. It worked. They both kind of look at each other and they look back at you.
I don't know. He looks. I think this is the right group. There's a meeting of the like-minded tomorrow night. If you know what I mean.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Excellent.
Where are we like-minded meeting?
Behind the cathedral in the jungle. The gilded rooster only crows once.
Indeed it does, my brother.
Sleeping hag. Sits on her eggs.
The chair is against the wall. The chairs.
And the two kind of slightly gray mottled skinned fellows stroll away from your table.
Cool.
Which cult do you think we just joined?
I have no idea.
We're going though, right?
Obviously.
Let's stay here till tomorrow evening.
I've always wanted to be in a cult.
Well,
That
Be your
surprises me not a little.
as far as I see it, there's really only two people who
was
could
that
have a
one time.
cult. And I don't like either of them. 3 people, and I don't like either of them.
Pan does not have a cult.
He absolutely has If the Lost Boys are not a cult, then I don't know who would be.
I mean, Janice has a point.
No, it's a religion.
There's no religion.
There's no religion. Pan has never
Cult is a
said he's a
derogatory
religion.
Malbane kind of looks to you. I don't think the Lost Boys adhere to any particular religious belief system.
And that's why it's a
But
cult.
that does not make them not a cult.
That is fair.
Have you met Pan?
I have. I've met all
It's
of
a
you
cult.
at some point. I don't know that I have enough information to argue with that.
Well, this man is the expert on
Pan.
Just darned that whole autonomy thing. I just don't know what to make of this.
We haven't heard about autonomy yet.
Well,
Nothing?
That's later.
That's later.
We will explain later. That was a very niche joke.
so the half orc Nathal comes out and there are large trays of food that he puts before you. It smells amazing. It looks terrifying. There
Is it like a What's the second Indiana Jones?
Oh, the
Monkey's
Indian
Skull?
feast with
The
like
Indian
the
feast with, like-
snake surprise and
The monkey
chilled
skull.
monkey
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah.
A little. So as he puts things down, he kind of goes through what the local delicacies are, so that you know. He
A man's
lays
left
one down.
leg.
Since it was a rather vague order, I decided that I would take the liberty of doing a family style feast for you.
This dish is called Lover's Quarrel.
This is Irmovian sea squirt, and it looks sort of phallic. It's have you ever seen a what do they call it? Gooey duck? Yeah. It looks like a massive gooey duck, and it's like decorated with edible flowers, and it
What is wrong with
smells
this
amazing,
town?
but it's just really gross.
It's by the sea. There's a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah,
to
there's
find
weird
in those towns.
stuff. There is this bizarre thing that has like I'm trying to figure out a way to describe this. It's long and scaly, but has the head of a squirrel and only 2 back legs. And so this is
An early version of a giraffe?
And he lays it down. Yes, this is the form of giraffe that crawled out of the ooze first.
Just 2 legs and a long neck.
Yep.
I don't think it's bipedal, my friend.
And this is roasted desert beetle, and there's this massive beetle that he sets down. So there's
like a
Eskimo squirrel
lobster.
snake, Irmovian sea squirt, and this massive desert beetle, and various sides of vegetables and all of that. And he brings like several different jugs of a drink that he calls Karku. That is a shade of like red with kind of with glitter. The sort of sparkly sort of thing that you'd be assumed to with
Edible
you'd be
glitter.
assumed to, you'd be accustomed to with potions and whatnot. It's like now this is quite strong. So be aware.
If the effects last more than 12 hours, see your doctor.
Have you been here before?
Gonna pull one of the legs off the beetle and toss it to the displacer beast.
It misses. Wrong
It's now floating in the air like 2 feet to the side of it.
Yep. There's just this random leg in the middle of the air. It's slowly
And
being
then I will
gnawed
take a little bit of each of the bits of meat, and I'm going to leave the vegetables alone.
Excellent. All right. Yeah. Everything is good. If you're gonna have much beverage, roll me con saves.
Hooray! Is this,
Okay.
is this considered
I'm
a
going to have-
poison?
No, it is not poison. It is just.
It's made
Oh wow. Melbane's a lightweight tonight, guys. He rolled a nat 1.
Gosh. How did you do, Natalie?
12? I got a 12.
Yes, it worked exactly as I planned.
You feel.
Melbane's just like stout face down. She doesn't even notice he's unconscious.
He's on rape in some places.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I've got one in front of me that's just as tall as the rest of you guys, and it's just like, yep, that doesn't do anything anymore.
Where did you roll them?
Doesn't matter.
Oh. Oh, that's right.
I am immune to poison.
It's well.
I mean,
Technically, it's a
Alcohol is a poison.
Okay, fine. I will accept that as poison.
So at this point, Emmeline becomes the DD.
I wouldn't say
Thankfully,
that
you
yet.
don't have to drive anywhere.
Designated
So
adult.
any of you guys who did under 13,
Natural 20.
natural 20. So you're 12.
I mean, can a clock man?
That's
take
what I was
drugs?
wondering.
Yeah.
No.
So it doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
It's all about the flavor.
Man can't really get smashed, I guess. So yeah, you're pretty safe.
I mean, he can get smashed, just not that way.
Yeah, those.
Yeah.
Fair. So you do all right, but like after like you handle it pretty well and it tastes real smooth. But towards the end of the glass, like if you stand up and try and walk in a straight line, it's not gonna work well for you. So you're not hammered by any means. You, on the other hand, at the end of your first glass, like you're really feeling it quite a lot, and Melbane is like, you can tell he is so uncomfortable. He just like slams through in a real hurry and can't like even sit up straight now. He's like,
yes, he's going out for the blackout
You
technique.
might want to heal him before he ends up with liver failure.
I'll do lay on hand. Or, yeah. I'll do healing hands for Milk.
All right, you're an Hesmer.
the ceiling
So
stays
for
still.
11 points of...
Yeah.
You get that
11
point
points
where you're
now.
just rocking back and forth, and it's like you're on a ship.
He doesn't look nearly as badly like he's gonna just like face plant over onto the table now. So that's
good.
a benefit. He might actually, remember tomorrow now. Remember tonight tomorrow.
He's got to
Remember tomorrow now.
You know what I mean. This is some good liquor you see tomorrow. So yeah, the food is good. Actually, it looks really disturbing, but it is actually very good. And you guys, if you want to talk to anyone in the tavern, you may. But otherwise, you're free to do resting or whatever you want to do.
No, okay, I'm good.
I'm just gonna drag out eating as long as I possibly can.
And I think all the rest of us, just head to our rooms.
I'm actually gonna sit here and wait until everybody's done, since I don't eat anyway.
Not just for fun?
You guys have never seen Janice eat or drink anything.
I eat and drink for fun.
It's like there's just this cavity in the middle of Brayden's character. Like Henry just has this door that he opens.
He has an actual hollow leg.
Yeah.
When he goes in his room, he unscrews at his ankle.
And just pours it out of the window.
Kind of Chipper, the way I imagine it is like a combination of C-3PO and a pocket watch come to life.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you take
That's
those
about
two and mush them together, that would be brain-wise how I feel like.
It's like a cross between 3PO and Cogsworth.
There you go, something like that.
Nice.
A little shinier
Sentient
than...
clock C-3PO.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So yeah, you just sit there and wait while Melbane and Elaine look at each other incredibly awkwardly.
No one moves.
You realize, my lady, I am more than content to sleep on the floor.
I am aware. They probably got us a suite with double beds.
Hold on, roll this for me. One. One will be the room with 2 beds.
Wait, you really did?
I didn't know. I legitimately did not know which one had 2
But you did
beds.
go up first. Well,
If
I
it's a
guess
4,
you
you
did.
have to re-roll.
We would have given the keys out at dinner,
Yeah.
so.
That's amazing. So there are 2 beds.
I'm using my inspiration to make you re-roll that.
We can go all night.
I was about to say Melbane might be able to too. I don't know.
that one was a 3.
Yes!
This session got so much raunchier than I had ever planned, and we have not gone nearly as far as I had imagined.
That happens.
Yep. Welcome to the life of a DM.
Yep.
Welcome to
Indeed.
this party specifically.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I'm just going to.
I'm just waiting until we get to the part where Stephen talks to his sword.
Right.
I've got some tips I can give you to make it a really enjoyable experience.
Are you saying that to her or him?
I don't do that out loud anymore.
Anyway.
Alright, I want to I want to see it this time. I want to see it
Just
this time.
read it out.
Here. Here.
We've not gone nearly as far as I had hoped to complain of all of my exes.
That's going on my list.
Please, anybody who might be able to quote in there, I don't know, can you add?
I can.
Okay. Add all
See,
the
I
things.
agree.
So do we want to work on Melvin's arm before we go to sleep? All right. Fortune's favor. Fortune's favor.
And if you should need to have me fitted.
Oh, don't worry. I already measured.
Yeah, you're fine. Don't worry. Have a good night.
Very well.
Click.
Good night. Ah.
Ooh, gonna use that Fortune's favor.
Man.
Molly bit. I don't want to risk rolling higher than a 13.
Holy crap!
Wow.
Evan.
One more.
Use a different die.
Hey, don't worry. 13 is gonna be higher than what you're ever gonna get.
Well, I rolled a 14 first, but I was trying to get higher than that. but-
Okay. What?
The best part, adding that quote, is quote number 69.
Yes! I am contractually obligated to say
Nice.
Oh, what do I add?
Your proficiency plus, I'm assuming your intelligence for him?
Yeah, that would work.
Okay.
Uh,
Can I do dex?
Yes.
24. 24 for me.
And then.
You're welcome,
20,
Chipper.
21, and then 22 for me.
So 24
Excellent.
into 23.
So actually, you have managed to create a pretty beautiful prosthetic hand. And you have managed, like, the outside skill that you presented created a really excellent like kind of skin look to the wood of it, and like it's still very clearly a prosthetic, but it is one of the best looking prosthetics that you've seen.
And actually.
And yours articulates very, like, all of the mechanics of it work very nicely. Like, there's not this kind of thing yet, unless you spend more time and figure out a way that you can, like,
Right.
that you can tell me you would do that to give him function there. But yeah, you, like, as far as the adjusting of his arm to be able to do different things with his hands, those mechanisms are really solid.
Additionally, on the where there would be fingernails, I want to take some of those worm scales and try to embed them as fingernails as best I can.
Neat. He now has, like, yeah, roll me whatever.
I just spent all my inspiration though.
It's, since they're only fingernails, like, if it's not great, it's still not the end of the
So
world.
17.
Oh yeah, that's still good. So while perhaps not up to your preferred standard, it's still very nice looking, and he now has a set of real pretty purple fingernails.
Maybe he can use them for something eventually, embed magic in them.
Yeah, cool.
Do we
Yeah,
want to give
it's-
this to him now, or?
Probably in the morning.
So how long do I babysit you two?
How long are you sitting there staring at each other?
Well, I mean, I was planning to sit there until everyone went up as
Okay,
well,
so you're
because
there too.
I'm
Yep.
stone cold sober. I want to make sure everyone gets.
All right, so we're both sitting here.
Well, I drank, but
Right.
it didn't affect me.
That's
My lady, if you have brought a night shift or something to that effect, I will happily wait down here while you make yourself comfortable in bed, and I will come.
While you slip into something more comfortable.
That was not what I intended.
Janice did not say that.
Oh, okay. That way, I would not be present while you were changing.
Which is funny because
I just sort of glare at Janice.
Well, no, I find that funny because Melvin doesn't have hands so he can't undress himself.
Or anything
I
else.
didn't think This is
He's
gonna-
sleeping in his clothes tonight.
I mean, he's probably slept in his clothes for the last, like,
Yeah, he's kind of filthy at this point. And there are like wash basins and whatnot in your rooms, so you're able. Although you guys have slept recently in the inn, so you've had recent baths. He has not because he's been in a jar.
Fair.
He's had a rough go. Melvin
Yeah.
has had a rough few days, man.
Hey, better him on our side than fighting against us.
Oh, definitely.
I'm just sort of going to glare at Janice.
Janice is going to make an insight check.
Read her mind.
23. He's trying to figure out why you're glaring at him.
I almost
I mean, I don't feel like I'm really trying to hide that. I'm annoyed that he's sitting there expectantly. Melody, let's just go upstairs.
Yes, my lady.
the room's upstairs.
Well, they are now.
He follows you upstairs. Yeah, awkwardly.
Shh.
And now there were two. Now there are two.
And
3.
with that, I will gather up
I'm
my
still there.
I know.
Ultra Beast and retire for the evening as well.
You may or may not hear Marvin Gaye playing next door.
What's that noise? Claudius, do you hear that?
I've spent most of my life trying to ignore that noise.
For some reason, I thought you said that you'd gone outside to find somewhere to sleep since you didn't have a room, but I think
Oh,
that
not
might
yet.
have been in my head.
No, not yet.
It's actually
Roll me perception.
Who?
Anybody who is still downstairs.
Oh.
That's not our problem.
27.
We've exited the scene.
So now that
15.
things are 15,
Yeah.
who Emmy?
No, I was upstairs.
You were
I was
upstairs?
go-
Okay.
Going to bed.
Now that people are starting to clear out and you can hear a little bit better, you hear kind of people shouting outside, and D shouting back.
What is he shouting?
It's a little hard to make out, but something about doing a service to the city.
I am going to stand up and go look out the window.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum have dug a gigantic hole in the middle of downtown because, well, actually, you don't know why. So there is a gigantic hole in the middle of the street, and you can just see like the top of Dum's head as he like, oh, and Tweedledee interprets for the surrounding crowd.
Alright, I'm gonna go head over there.
I'll go with him. I'll go with Janice. Yeah.
you guys side quest and save the town.
D turns around. There, my friends! And Dum looks up.
You're in a hole.
We are Tweedles in a hole.
But why are you in a hole?
You were not whole Tweedles in a hole. You're missing your toes.
You're not wrong. Well, they were complaining that they were having a freshwater shortage, so we decided to take it upon ourselves to do what we do when we need water and dig a well. Tweed holes!
Do they have any sort of barriers to prevent people from just...
Nope. It's just a big hole.
When you dig wells, don't you normally build a wall around them
Why would you build a wall?
so no
Around
one
a
falls
well.
in?
He kind of looks down, looks back up. big asshole. How to be blind enough to fall in that?
Right, so what happens when a blind man walks down the road?
I never thought of that.
So maybe you should build a wall around it.
Maybe blind men shouldn't be walking down roads.
I mean,
But they have to walk down the roads. There's nowhere else for them to walk. Maybe you should build a wall around your well.
A wall around the well!
And having successfully solved this particular problem, I will turn around and head back into the tavern. I see nothing wrong with digging a well.
So Dumb starts to very obediently, like, that makes sense, and adjust a lot of the stuff that they had just dug up and kind of make a cob out of it and build up a little lip around it that
All right,
prevent people from falling
my
in.
work here is done. I will head
Blind
back in.
people from
I'm
falling
good.
in.
Yeah, keep
Specifically.
blind people specifically from
Yep.
falling in.
Falling in.
You notice since you stay outside
Yeah.
with them, does not take long for like Dumb is working from the top, D is in the hole.
Okay.
Does not take long for them to realize that there was a bit of an error in planning. So now D is stuck in a hole and cannot reach the top.
Okay. I might help them.
I wonder how many Tweedles are stuck in wells across the world.
My question is, did they actually find water?
I want to know
they're
that
just still
too.
going.
It's at least damp enough that they were able to make
Hello
contact with what was
up
at the
there.
bottom.
Okay.
Okay.
So they're at least
random
close.
Tweedle stuck in this well. Please help. Send help.
So,
please.
I see this that
This predicament.
yeah.
Per dinky wink.
Do you have a way out?
Oh, what?
Per dinky wink.
Dinky. Okay.
When you say way out,
What exactly?
what might you be specifically referring to?
As a side note, he's way too big to do that.
Give me a hand.
Are you stuck in the well? Or are you unstuck, not in the well?
I am unable to be not in the well.
I see.
That makes sense.
All right.
Can't keep hold of your balls.
Grab your nuts.
Grab your balls.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Well, maybe we should figure out some way to not be in the well.
Recommend not
I
being in the well.
would be open to accept possible recommendations as to how to no longer be in the well.
If only the conjuration wizard were there.
What?
He's busy.
If only anyone else was there to help.
Yep.
There's just like this big group of people gathering around this well now that are just like, I don't.
Wow, that's a lot of people with no good ideas.
Yeah, that is a lot of people with no good ideas.
I mean, most of them don't have magic. I doubt most of them, well, I mean, most of them probably have ropes, but
A ladder.
Yeah, a ladder.
A ladder.
You would totally squish the ladder.
Depends what it's made out
Probably.
of.
Yeah, it depends on what
The town's news crew shows up.
yes.
Yes.
We're here.
The paper tomorrow.
We're here in Main Street where Tweedle has trapped himself in a well.
Well, it was not there before.
We're attempting to see
I'm
if this is
sorry,
a
I'm sorry, John.
suicide or perhaps a suicide.
John, I think we're supposed to. Did you say a Tweedle is trapped in the? That's right, Janice. A Tweedle is trapped in the well.
Wait, which well?
It's a newly developed well.
Yes, everything about this is a new development.
I swear, one of them like digs down.
I
and
can't really do
strikes
anything.
I'm scared.
What are you scared of exactly?
Can't swim. And he doesn't float.
I can't float, and I don't like being in holes.
Well, why did you go in the hole in the first place?
I was just digging a well. I didn't intend on
Wells
staying.
are also holes.
The one person that doesn't know how to talk to a Tweedle.
Yep.
But I don't-
Actually, I'm great at
I
talking.
don't. I usually get out of the hole.
Oh, buddy.
I just watched Natalie's heart break a little bit.
Is that what that cracking sound was?
Yes.
So since there is a blacksmith that decides that he is going to start fashioning a ladder, but it's going to take a while. So
We've got all night.
meantime,
Well,
Sleep.
Oh well.
Dunn
wow.
takes a length of rope and tosses
hey, you
it
know,
down.
this is really good because then I only have to worry about one Tweedle not eating.
That's true. One is automatically
This
not
solves
What
my-
are you gonna do if the one in the well starts eating?
What is it eating?
What is it going to eat? Well, I can.
You said you wouldn't let it
Okay,
eat.
actually, I can solve that.
Oh boy. I can't wait.
I'm curious now.
Can I make a persuasion roll
To what?
How?
to?
What are you going to be
Persuading.
attempting
actually-
here?
Yeah. Just to persuade D to not eat the dirt in the well.
Oh, I wasn't gonna.
Oh, buddy.
I don't like that.
I don't like it.
Okay. Then it seems like we're okay.
So you kind of hear Dump, and he tosses a rope down and ties it to his wrist, and all right, thank you, Dump, and ties the other one to his wrist. Like, I can sleep as long as I know I'm attached to Dump. So
You realize
Boy, isn't it great that none of the rest of us are here?
you realize this could be a way to get out the well.
that rope's not Tweedle proof. I killed Brayden.
Get a bigger rope.
Oh, I got a headache now.
Proof.
You got a oxygen. I have a suggestion, but I'm not sure.
Everybody has an awesome suggestion.
All five of us know what to do, but the one person who wasn't like,
It makes it that much better.
doesn't know how to do it.
I love it that much more.
Oh, my head. Oh, I have a head of oxygen every second.
What if I made the rope Tweedle proof?
You can do that.
Yes, of course I can do that.
She's a
Face lies.
Tweedle proofer. Oh, no.
Indeed I am.
Oh, he is. Sorry.
Your plans are here.
Don't question me.
Yeah, this can only go well.
Yes, please.
So I touch the rope and just cast light.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
It's a glowy rope now.
It is now. Now this rope.
Are you going to placebo effect them?
Okay. rope has now been Tweedle-proofed.
Roll to persuade the laws of physics.
Wait! No, okay, that's all.
Would you have that ability to give people advantage?
Yeah, I do.
I want to do that when you start climbing that rope.
What do I have? Fortune favor? Yeah. I have advantage on.
I thought you could give people advantage.
Oh, my face hurts.
I can give them. Ship it through me. I can. Let's see.
Love it. Love it.
Oh, I have to see shipper drawings later.
Yeah. Like they can re-roll.
I'll have to describe Tweedle
Yeah.
at some
Chipper,
point.
can you draw just a hole with a small rock head poking out?
Yeah, I have to describe a Tweedle for her at some point. So, like, they're essentially giant, round monsters that have very stonish features and huge rock appendages that they kind of like boulder out on the edges and
Chipper?
under tusks.
Chipper, just Google Goron, Legend of Zelda.
Oh.
That is what these look like.
Yeah.
Do the Gorons have the tusks?
No,
They
but
have
that's
like
the
an underbite tusk.
yeah, that's the only thing you'll have to add is the tusks. Other than that, it's a Goron.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so, yes, now the rope is Tweedle-proof.
Okay, I'm going to roll.
So that problem is solved.
Going to roll a strength check for the rope.
Okay. Okay.
All right, Joe. Roll me up. And that was a 3.
Reroll.
Yeah, you and your magic rope.
If I were there, I would animate object rope, be like,
So he tugs on the rope a little bit. I'm like, what? So far, so good. All right. And he starts like, let me now roll a strength check. 7. Actually, no, because he has a large plus to that. Okay, so yeah, I forgot. Like he's real strong. So yeah, like it's a little shaky, but between D climbing up and Dum reeling in, they are able to get the Tweedle out of the hole.
A little more rocky, but
Yeah, a little more.
Basically,
rocky.
they're
The only thing I did was cast light.
But yeah, that would be pretty accurate.
It was the motivation they needed.
Yes, it was.
Oh, that was awesome. Thank you. For
So
that.
when he gets out, does all the crowd just go like? Woo!
A few of them do.
Yes!
A few of them do. A few of them kind of look disgusted by the whole thing and are questioning why there's now a hole in the middle of Main Street. But I feel like more of them had become emotionally attached to the idea of saving the Tweedle from the hole. And all of these people are pretty elaborately decorated and have all of the like bone fragments everywhere and all of that. So it's an interesting thing to be cheered on by a bunch of people that look on the surface like massive savages.
We're going to come back in a couple years, and they're going to have built a Tweedle shelter to rescue Tweedles.
Power inside you all along. Yes.
Power of friendship.
oh my gosh.
In the arms of the
Just big
For
Tweedles with
only
round eyes.
for only 3 copper a day, you can save these Tweedles from themselves.
My face hurt.
Oh, I'm lightheaded. I almost passed out. Laughing so hard in the lack of oxygen.
This is gonna get interesting.
What are you doing?
Nothing good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Tweedles curl up. You are able to secure a barn that is big enough for all 3 of you. If you would like to stay with the Tweedles
Yes,
to keep them
yeah.
out of trouble and
them
to
from
keep them from eating
I mean-
horses or anything else apparently.
I don't know if I'm gonna keep them out of trouble, but
You'll keep them from eating.
I'll keep them from eating because that's the only thing I agreed to.
A measure of her contract.
I am contractually obligated to keep them from eating anything,
Yes, indeed.
which I will fulfill.
And I might do a little aside with you and the Tweedles later if you would
Okay,
like.
yeah.
If you would like to stay up and
Oh,
have
boy.
conversations with them,
Yeah.
you're more than welcome to. We will do that off screen, and I will post that in the Discord. So
So, I'm going to head back up to my room. Except, I do not know which room is the one I am sharing with Claudius.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
How many rooms in this inn are there?
There's
There's
Three that we
Three.
have.
Three.
three
Yeah.
that you have. There. Would you have noticed the numbers on the keys?
Probably.
Okay. So there are 3 rooms that you guys have.
So-
Which room are you in?
We're in 3. You're in 2, and 1.
They're in
Yeah, they're in
They're in
three.
Oh, they're in 3. We're in 1 because we have the double bed.
Sure. So you're
Well,
one.
did you guys roll that?
No.
No.
Here, roll it.
Okay, we are in
Room 2.
2.
Would they
So
sing
you
the
just have
best?
I'm the one that's got the double. I've got one bed. Displacer Beast on the other.
well, obviously, it
I get it right on the first go.
So you actually walk into
Yep,
your
first
own
one,
room.
first one I tried. It's my room.
You're like, well, look at that.
That's awesome. Wow. So
Claudius
yeah,
is
you.
keeping busy with the hand. When you finally bed down, Claudius starts a carving project.
Standing,
I'm
just standing
going
in a
to
corner.
sit in a chair for the night.
So you guys are gonna have a staring contest.
I mean, I don't sleep, so
So you guys are gonna
Yeah.
have a staring contest.
I'm not staring. I'm keeping my hands busy.
Okay. So you guys stay up through the night. You just kind of go on off mode for a while.
Like a broom leaning against the side of a wall.
Steven, does Claudius go to sleep at any point?
No.
Oh.
Claudius would see what happens.
Oh.
I don't even know what happens.
So, well, you know what you're about to look like, and I forget, so you're gonna have to describe that part. But essentially, the way I imagine this.
Oh,
is
I
that
see this
you
as well
go
because I see everything
to
that goes on in the room.
the blankest slate version of yourself, and then everything expands from there. So it's almost like a whoop kind of a
Okay.
thing.
All right.
Like you might actually kind of be George for just a second.
So, while Janice is sitting in his chair, and he's just sort of like his glassy-eyed, he all of a sudden, so like right now he's got like a helmet, he's got a helm, he's like armor and robes. All of that fades, and he's wearing sort of like the kind of clothing that someone who's staying in a hospital would be wearing. And he's got a long gray beard, long gray hair, really like a very old wizened man face. And so it slowly like sort of melts and things fade until he looks like that. And then like the beard starts growing back up and it starts changing again until he is a man in black robes with like almost leather armor like sewn into the robes. And he has a hood that comes all the way up that no matter where the light is, the top part of his face is always shadowed and his eyes reflect the light like a cat's.
That was disconcerting.
Yep. And yeah, since the two of you were in there, you would
Yep,
see
I
that.
I'm sleeping.
Or
I
powered
just-
down.
I'm more, at this point, I'm more like a security
as far,
camera.
as far as you know, he is asleep.
So you're gonna end up taking a point of exhaustion. Roll me your wisdom save.
Or don't you roll for exhaustion?
Hmm?
Do you roll for exhaustion for at least the first night? Yeah.
It's up to DM.
Okay.
I've not done a sleepless night thing before as far as that goes, so I don't.
I can't remember. I thought.
You get a point of exhaustion.
Yeah.
That's going to be 25.
25? Okay. So you're still well within the range of winning that. So you do dream, but you dream kind of loosely, more. You feel like you're much more in control of this.
Okay.
So you see the gates, and you feel pulled toward your gate.
Mhm.
but you find the strength to dig your heels in, and the salt and pepper hair man standing on the other side of the gate beckoning you through doesn't seem to be able to continue to pull you in. So you're able to, like, almost like there's a rope tied around you, dragging you to. You feel your heels digging into the sand, and it's almost like they hit something solid, some kind of a bedrock, and you start dragging back farther and farther.
Am I able to pull him with me?
Every time.
Make a strength
Screw with the wrong
check.
So I am strong enough to keep resisting his pull, right?
Yes.
So I'm actually going to walk all the way up until I'm just across the gate from him, but I'm gonna hold my ground so he can't pull me over. But if I have to make a strength check, I wouldn't even try and pull him then.
Okay.
But I'll just stand. Oh. Seems we meet again.
Indeed. So, have you considered some of the things that I've offered?
Oh, yes. I've seen your work, as it were.
You've seen nothing of my work.
Pretty sure I saw it. It's hard to miss a giant road that falls out of the sky.
Oh, that's poor execution from people that are not as skilled as I would prefer. This is one of the reasons I would prefer more competent help. But sometimes mistakes are made and you have to continue on with what you're given. So, this is what we're given for now. Just keep in mind you would have much to offer a new world that is integrated between the outer world and this one.
Interesting. Well, I don't really think I'd have much to offer, but it's good to know that's where your head is.
I will not command obedience, but just keep in mind the consideration.
So, your gift to Claudius was quite interesting. Tell me, is that a boon or a bane that you've given him?
I suppose that would depend on Claudius and how he chooses to use it. Was my intention to be a boon?
Really?
He cares for children very deeply, and so I gave him the opportunity to look after them, and even to perhaps save a few souls that were lost.
Interesting. So, what is it about us that you find so appealing?
That you tread two very interesting paths. You are already a fascinating balance between two worlds that I want to combine.
And what would you gain in combining these worlds?
Balance. It's not for me to gain. It's unfair for them to keep it from us. I'm not seeking any personal glory. No one's going to know my name. Except him. He kind of like gestures up to the sky.
Mm-hmm.
I
So-
think I do this for some kind of strange jolly for being powerful.
So you're melding the worlds together as a gift to all of us.
And all of humanity.
Hmm.
Both.
It's interesting because the only person I've met who didn't already have this gift of both those worlds is you. So,
An interesting
from
perception.
my perspective on it, this has nothing to do with helping anyone else. This has everything to do with gaining both of these worlds for yourself.
You might ask some of the residents where you are now their thoughts on the matter.
Oh, really? You think they might have something enlightening to share?
You think everyone is able to walk that balance, walk that line? Come and go so freely? Many of your kind touch this place so intimately. Do you think people that reside here and have forever have any option? You think they're given the freedom to choose where they are? And you have all spent far longer here in one spell than most. You should know that better than all. You're still holding it together because you made a really good wisdom save, but like, there's a little thread of stabby stab there in your gut. Makes you uncomfortable a little.
Interesting. Well, I do look forward to our next meeting.
As do I. I can tell that you are not swayed for now, but I find
Tell me, has your friend the large and scaly shadow returned yet?
Oh, he's not that far away.
Glad to see he made it in all in good time.
Indeed.
And I'm going to turn around and walk away.
All right. The rest of the who are sleeping, should we roll for sexy time?
I don't know, Natalie. Are you sleeping?
I'm sure that
I don't think, like,
between the awkward and the exchanges that we've had already, I don't know that anything would actually happen.
I don't
Probably
know.
some nice cuddling and then we'd fall asleep, but I don't think anything's actually
I
gonna happen.
feel like you're probably right, actually. So, yeah.
I am going to point out that they are both drunk.
That is true.
So they're cuddling.
I don't know if that changes anything, but
Maybe some very flirtatious cuddling.
Okay. We could. I was about to say we can talk about that later, but that could
That
be
could
really
go
weird.
weird.
We can RP their conversations, but
Keep in mind, at this point, Melbane still does not have any hands. He cannot get hands.
At least until morning.
And as I've said before, he doesn't need his hands.
who says he needs hands?
yeah, right.
Danny and I are like,
I do want to know though what your reaction is when you open the room and there is one bed, not two.
they did this on purpose.
Hey, you picked up the key and he's like, let's go with this one. That was on you.
Milady, I insist that you take the bed. I will be content on the floor. It will not be the first time I have slept on the floor.
Don't be silly.
And fade to black.
Yep.
Door closed.
And Marvin Gaye begins to play. So yes, those who are sleeping, go ahead and give me your wisdom saves.
Do I need to roll for wisdom save?
For you, give me a minute.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Nice.
You have a dark, dreamless sleep. It's very, very restful and relaxing.
Cuddled up with my displacer beast.
Yes, cuddled up with your displacers.
And we've established you sleep like a cat, right? So you
Yes.
get a little curl,
just
yeah.
curled up. Yeah.
You don't actually use the bed, you just get on the bed and sort of knead it.
Making biscuits.
Yep.
17.
17? Okay.
24.
You don't sleep. 24. Okay.
Oh, 25.
25. Okay. So, you are going to take a
Breakpoint.
breakpoint. Thank you.
You never explained to me how that works. with my
Oh crap!
character.
Did I not give you one?
No,
Okay,
but that's okay.
we will
can-
discuss.
We can
We'll
figure
handle
that
Yes.
that later.
So
I will write it down so that I remember.
you guys pass, but he does appear to you. This is the first time that you have seen this man.
Yes.
So you nod off to sleep, and it's interesting. Like you haven't dreamed in weeks. Like you're accustomed to some pretty colorful, bizarre dreams at night, and you haven't had a single dream in weeks. And out of nowhere, this Sultan pepper-haired man kind of comes to you, and he's wearing a very brightly colored hat, and has a brightly colored staff. And he leans over towards you while there is a tea party set before you, and says,
Because we weren't the tea party enough before.
right, this is a beautiful place you have here.
Why isn't it? I quite like it.
You should. It's very interesting. I've come to realize that you have come into contact with some friendly acquaintances of mine.
That's a stretch.
And they are from elsewhere. I think you might enjoy being able to have the freedom to go elsewhere. Of course, he doesn't know that much about you right now, so.
Yeah. What do you mean by elsewhere?
Some people here, I gather, call it the above, the outer world, things of that nature.
Yes. I have heard of it.
Well, I find myself in an interesting situation, and perhaps you could help me sway some minds of the people around you. But I would be very interested in allowing freedom from this world to that, and vice versa. That way, all of the wonders of this place can be experienced there, and all of the wonders of that place can be experienced here. Doesn't that sound lovely?
It does sound interesting.
I'd like you to consider perhaps keeping me apprised of those situations, and perhaps being a mouthpiece for me to
What isn't it for
persuade
me?
them. Oh,
Shunk shame.
What do you have to offer me?
That's what I said.
yeah.
I already have freedom.
The freedom to go where you please when you
Of course I do.
So you've been to the outer worlds then? How is this possible? Or are you confused about what it is I'm asking?
I believe
Finally
you
there.
are confused as to what you're asking.
You kind of see him going,
There we are. From a 6-year-old kid.
I'm sorry, use the daylights on my god.
No, he's not a god.
He's God adjacent?
Demigod.
Didn't go.
Demigod.
Just imagine it's like,
You've confused one of the moderators who has taken over the admin position.
I wasn't confused a moment ago.
what now?
But now you are? Are you certain?
Your
You said you were
company-
confused before.
Your company
Because
is
it-
so delightful it disorients me.
Ah, I see. There's nothing wrong with being disoriented, of course.
Of course. Shouldn't everyone be able to experience it?
Yes, indeed.
Perhaps we should allow them to. And if you already feel as though you have the freedom that you desire, what else might you?
I want nothing.
Nice recover.
Nothing. Interesting. Very well.
Google search. How to give someone nothing.
I should like to visit you again.
After
If
I've
you
had
so
a few more
desire.
drinks.
Indeed.
After I've smoked a large blunt.
Chipped the doobie, if it were.
But for now, I will leave you to your sleep. And I wish you a wonderful day ahead.
I wish you a day.
He tips his brightly colored hat and twirls his
So he
cane
shall
and
have
walks
one.
off. Braden.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys. So you're as you snooze down, you kind of fade to black, and out of the blackness, you begin to see this salt and pepper haired man again. This time with a bone in his teeth,
Smoking
kind
a
of.
blunt this time.
This shit's getting weird. I need to calm down.
He's eating a leg of what you can identify as rabbit. It's kind of like numbing on
Yes.
the edge of it. So pleasant to see you again. Your adventures seem to be going interestingly, don't they?
I suppose.
Have you considered any farther the idea of perhaps wanting to blend worlds?
I was considering your option, but I wanted to kill the rabbit, so.
Oh, well. See,
Now you've taken the only bargaining chip away.
but you see, this is one of the handy things about you being in control of the pocket watch. And he hands you a pocket watch. All you need do is spin the hands back and he's yours.
I'm gonna make myself a wisdom saving throw. Alright, I'll take the pocket watch.
Excellent. You can turn it back. You made your dream wisdom save, so I'm not going to give you a break point for that. But
I feel like this is more out of curiosity than anything.
Yeah. What would you like to do with said pocket watch?
I suppose I'll turn back the clock.
We all go back 2 sessions of time.
As you do so, the rabbit goes to like being roasted spit rabbit, goes to being slaughtered rabbit, goes to being fluffy March hare kind of. Well, I guess March hare is a little bit of a different rabbit. The rabbit with the pocket watch, and he looks at you and he takes the pocket watch out of your hand.
What are you doing with that? You're not supposed to have this. What are you doing with this?
Hold on. I have to make a decision real quick. Alright, I'll cast Disintegrate on him.
So as we've learned, that is a saving throw.
What is it?
It's a dexterity saving throw.
Nope, that was a 3.
So he'll take 40
With my
and
dex.
then 60-10, but I assume...
He is a poof of powder in the air that leaves behind a pocket watch that has a blast mark on it.
Yeah.
Did you get satisfaction from that?
Can't get no satisfaction.
A little, but...
Imagine what satisfaction you might be able to get if you could control all of time.
You could kill him forever.
Over and over and over.
And over and over again.
You and your friends are uniquely qualified to be useful to different elements of the world. You would be an excellent keeper of time. Your friend the Minotaur would be an excellent watcher for the welfare of children. Janice, of course, would be an excellent doorman.
An excellent door.
Yes, he would.
What's the black guy from Thor? Heimdall.
Oh, Heimdall.
Heimdall.
Yes, Heimdall. Yeah.
Emmy, Elaine, all of them have special gifts that would make them specially equipped, in addition to your new friend, who also has some gifts with time, come to think of it. Xerxes, I believe he's called. Is that right? Did I say that
That's
right?
right,
Okay,
yeah.
awesome. Still not convinced?
I've seen some of your handiwork. I'm not entirely impressed with it.
Again! Must explain myself every
Should have
time.
hired help at Neverwinter Man.
Yes, exactly. Never hire in Neverwinter. Aye. That was not my own handiwork. That was mistaken actions done on my behalf that were not properly sanctioned.
He has Tweedles working for him.
Apparently. This is what happens when all of your help comes from the land of madness. And that was not my doing. Now, the changes in the geography of the place, the geology of the place, and the skies, that's a little bit more my speed, but roads, things to that effect, that side of things does not interest me as much. You should be careful who you tell to clear a path. Strange little men in green towers do bizarre things with your orders.
Oh. I gotta.
Nice.
Well, it'd be interesting to see how he fares against us.
Indeed. Well, if you find him, that is.
Oh, it's not hard.
Very well. It sounds as though you're still thinking on it. I'll say, as an optimist. I like to be an optimist. I'll leave you to your sleep for now, but just remember, if the rabbit could give you some satisfaction, what different types of things might give you so much more? Good night, dear sir. Till we meet again. Kind of steps out. Yeah, you have a dreamless sleep. Elaine, you fade to black.
Banana.
So there has at least been enough persuasion happening there that you were able to convince Melbane to not sleep on the floor. So it's very pleasant to be kind of curled up next to him, and at some point he kind of reaches over with his little stump and kind of pulls you in. And it's very sweet and very comforting, and you lull off to sleep very easily. And from that place of kind of warm comfort, you get this feeling around a warm fire, and you can see your parents, or people that you think might be your parents, like playing a game with you, and you feel like your younger self, like your child self, the self that was in an orphanage so long ago, unable to enjoy the things that normal families would have. And you feel this warmth in your heart that just kind of swells, and this feels more like a memory than it does a vision of what could have been. Like someone has gotten into your brain and unlocked a memory that you were never able to claim before. So, as you're feeling this with the mind of a 20-something, 30-something, I forget, 20-something year old woman, but through the eyes of a child, you hear a whisper in the back of your mind. Know this feeling? Do you remember now who you are?
I don't know.
You see on the woman's neck a rose necklace, and you feel on your own neck something that's similar, that fits together with that one. Almost like two roses intertwined. Both out of the same metal, clearly meant as a pair to be worn together. And you remember your mother giving you this and telling you that everything would. That terrified me. It's like, what's at our door? No, sorry. You remember the feeling the day that she gave that to you and told you that wherever she went, how far she had to go, that you would always be someone special, and you would always be so important to her. And your father, such a loving man, he knew too. He knew that you were destined for more. And the image kind of unfreezes and continues to play out, but you're sitting there now kind of with this look of confusion, sort of feels happening. You can go to them. Tell them how you feel. You've not seen them for so long, and they've hidden these memories away for your own safety. But now you can tell them.
Can I?
Why would you not?
I did fail the wisdom save, didn't I?
Yep.
But I haven't finished what I'm here for.
What are you here for?
To right the world again.
What's so wrong in the world?
I think there's lots of things wrong. Children dying. The landscape can't keep its shape. People dying.
Volcanoes have been happening since the dawn of time. Children have died since the dawn of time. What's different? Nothing has changed. This is just a different flavor of what you've seen every day in the world that you lived in. This is worlds uniting. And an opportunity for you to reunite with the people that have been locked away from you for too long.
Perhaps.
Tell them what you wish to. They can hear you now. Perhaps later then. And you kind of see the vision fade to black, but it's like having them ripped away from you. Like you didn't have them before, but for that instant that you had them, it felt like they had been there forever. And then they weren't. And you kind of wake from your dream, and while it's not there, you do see an impression of the necklace in your skin when you roll over to see the man who has his arms wrapped around you, softly snoring in your ear.
So romantic.
Softly. It's a cute snore. And we will discuss your break point at a different time.
Okay.
So you all make it through the night. Claudius looks real rough in the morning. And yes, there is the smell of breakfast wafting in. When you come down, you are all greeted with free breakfast because you did massively overpay for the rooms. and Natal is a nice guy. Like he's gonna take a little extra tip from that, but like yeah, he's gonna treat you right since you paid him more than what he was expecting. And I think that is probably a good place to end for the night, seeing as it's about 9:30.
Alright.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Well, guys, there was a lot of laughter tonight.
Yep.
Also, quick note, Lance, Chipper drew the
Chipper drawings.
Tweedle in the hole.
Yeah.
Tweedle in a hole! Oh, this makes me happy. Okay, I have to check out the drawings before we leave.
I'll have to check that out before
Oh, Chipper, that's fantastic.
once we're done here this evening.
So for those of you who do not know, Chipper is kind of our resident artist, our bard. She's our bard that watches
She's our self-appointed bard?
Yes,
Yeah.
self-appointed bard. That's amazing. Oh,
Yeah,
the slime
it's
armor is
cute.
great.
Yeah.
I also particularly love the nipple tape.
Yep, the nipple tape is
That's-
really what sells
That's
it.
that much
Yeah.
better. I love everything about this. Oh, so much. Oh, so much. I love you so much. Go check out our Discord. Keith is going to throw that into the chat. We'll get the quote thing worked out so that you guys can add quotes, but you can exclamation point quote anytime, and you'll end up with all kinds of really bizarre things that have been said throughout Keith's last campaign and some of the stuff that has been said here. By the end of the week, I hope to have some of the asides that have already happened rewritten into short story format so that you can read some of the stuff that's more stream. And we got old folks and parents. The parents aren't old folks, but we've got old folks and parents. Baby requires loves. Yes, he turned into Penguin out of necessity. That was actually a Chipper quote. Perfect. Poser. And hello, too. So I will have in the Discord a couple of the asides that have happened between Melbane and Elaine, as well as Stephen and his sword. You can interpret that however you want to.
They are children.
That's not helping.
Wow, that went from a funny joke to a crime.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Very
That's a
quickly.
felony.
So those will be in a short story-ish format so that you can kind of know what's going on behind the scenes, so you get a little bit of insider information as well. Trying to think if there's anything else that we needed to say.
Just a reminder about the YouTube channel. We'll be making sure that videos get uploaded this week. I've got to sit down and do that because I'm way behind at this point. But our YouTube channel is there. You can always go and check that out. We usually have session replays. We do have the full campaign for Tomb of Annihilation up. We've got some one-shots that we've run that have been really cool. We've got a series, an on-again, off-again series we call Cover Your Assets, which is all about not the card game by the same name, but creating custom content for D&D. All a lot of fun, all there for you to peruse and sort of watch along with us.
We should do another one of those.
Yeah,
Because
well,
the new book Theros is coming out.
yeah, well,
Which involves a lot of mythical races,
We may get
including
into that, yeah.
centaurs, minotaurs, and Leonards.
yeah, we'll probably
Lion
get into
Heads.
that. So yeah, check the YouTube channel out, check the Discord out. It's a good place for news and updates about what's going on here on this channel. I think I already put that up, but I'll do it again just to be sure. Also a good place for news on Kyrie's creative streaming and Danny's creative streams when they happen as well.
Which I have to build a mask, so I have to do it. Focusing so much on house and yard stuff that I haven't done a lot of creative streaming recently, but the Lord Scritch the Goodly channel will be doing something because I actually have to make a mask. So I cannot continue to dally on that. That is a thing that will be required. So yeah.
Yeah, so real life is happening here around behind the scenes, but we enjoy coming together and playing with each other. And I just realized in my head how that sounded as it was
Everything
coming out of my
tonight.
mouth.
Everything tonight has been one
But we
big
do
volunteer.
enjoy getting together to play D&D together. And we enjoy having you guys along while we do. Hope you guys enjoyed it tonight. We had a blast. We will be back next week. You guys are more than welcome to join us.
I am
Until
going
then.
to wait.
Oh, wait.
I'm going to, for the people who weren't here earlier, I do have to show off Chipper's amazing work. This was my
It is wonderful.
my
In a terrible way.
familiar from last campaign for Keith, Hemorrhoid, who we gave human hands at some point because we're terrible humans. I don't remember the toilet thing. I cannot remember why he
we
ended
were
up on
talking
the
about
toilet.
her thinker.
Oh yeah, because of the thinker thing. Yeah. So she has amazing stickers and has a cool little red bubble thing, all of that jazz. Thank you also to Asmodeus for subbing. We hope you enjoy yourself. If you have other like nerdy or otherwise tastefully inappropriate, we weren't tasteful, but
No.
not
That was a rare
creepers,
thing that happened.
like not creepers, but still have our kind of sense of humor. Send them our way. We'd love it if they like nerdy things like we do and have the endurance to follow a D&D campaign. Go for it. We'd love to meet new interesting people. But yes, thank you Asmodeus for the sub. You're freaking awesome. You crack me up.
So until next week, we hope you guys get through the week just fine and are able to come back and join us again next time. Until then,
Grab your hats and grab your balls!
And if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a glass house. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night.